is closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello and welcome to Live at the Bike. I'm David Tuckman, and I'm going to be doing the show by myself for the first 2 minutes because Bart's an idiot. He got lost. He's driving somewhere. I think he's in Compton. I have no idea where he is. Anyway, we are doing Friday night, big poker night. No limit hold'em, 10, 20 blinds. I look forward to this night all week long. It's probably one of the biggest 10-20 games out there because it really plays like a 20-40 game, especially when you get the crazy guys in the game. So let's get right to the action. In Seat 1, we'll introduce the players real quick. Seat 1, we got Alan, and there's Alan there. And look at the T-shirt. That's Alan. Kind of cool. I can't believe that's kind of funny. And Alan's got a lot of money in front of him. Seat 2, we've got Mo, and Mo sporting the That's Alan shirt as well. Seat 3, we've got somewhat of a pretty serious poker player. His name is Gil, and he is tremendously successful in that kind of mid-level tournament game, like the $300 to $500 buy-in tournaments. Tremendously successful. Amir is in Seat 4, and Amir looks like he's got probably close to about $1,400. Seat 5, we've got George, and George's got some sort of story. He wanted me to call him Voodoo G tonight, but I'm not going to do that. Supposedly, he went and saw a voodoo doctor to get rid of his bad beats. I don't know, maybe they're like waving chickens at him or something. Man, hey, you got to reach. But to us, he's still the Greek poker god, and he's still George. Seat 6, we got Barry Woods, the myth, the legend. And Barry actually bought some cool T-shirts for us. I'm wearing the one he bought for me, and he bought one for Bart, too. If Bart ever gets here, he'll put it on. And Barry's got a lot of money in front of him. Seat 7, we've got Ollie, but he's not here right now. He'll supposedly be coming in a second. Seat 8, we've got Olivier, or is that Oliver? It's Oliver. Okay. Olivier is so much cooler, though. But we'll call him Oliver. No big deal. And he's also sporting the That's Alan shirt. Seat 9, we've got another new player here. We've got Jonathan. And Jonathan's got his girl behind him. And his girl's name is Tracy. And let's get to the action. First hand of the night here. We see it's already at the river here. And not much of a big pot, so we'll start it off on the next show. If you want to follow a live thread, you can go to 2plus2.com. Go to forum, log in, go to World Poker Tour and other events, and then go to Live at the Bike for February 20... what is it, February 24th or 5th? What is it? February 24th. Check that out. We do read them. We do appreciate it. You can also email us with any of your questions or concerns to live@thebike.com. And Bart should be here momentarily. And we'll see what happens. Button is in Seat 3. That's Gil. Blinds, once again, are $10 and $20. We play this game with brown chips, kind of brown-orange chips, or $10 chips. Primarily those and white chips, which are $100 chips. If you see, like, greenish chips, a little bigger, they're $1,000 chips. And if you see any big purple chips, then they are $5,000 chips. Now, Seat 9, that's Jonathan. He's going to raise it up to $70 with 6-5 suited here. And Alan's going to call it what can be a dominated hand, king-queen offsuit. And we're going to get a heads up here. Flop is queen, 7, jack. Alan's got him in bad shape here. But it's one of those hands where, generally speaking, if you're in there with king-queen offsuit, you're either going to win a small pot or you're going to lose a big one. Pretty easy fold here for Jonathan. I mean, that 5-6 of diamonds doesn't look real good with that flop. Kind of exciting for Bart and I tonight, actually. One of the reasons I think Bart and I were over at another LA casino doing an interview for cardplayer.com. And for the circuit, Scott Huff, the circuit, if you want to check it out, you can go to cardplayer.com. Click on the circuit. Bart and I did an interview today for about 40 minutes. Kind of cool. And we'll see what happens. And Bart is here, folks. He's in the house. Button is in Seat 4. And the action is all the way around the Gil already. And it's interesting, you can always tell a game that doesn't have Corporation Mike in it. The game is somewhat passive, a little bit from the start. And are they going to chop it up? Yeah, they're going to chop it up. And the button moves over to George in seat 5. Last night's game was absolutely insane. I walked into a game last night after our webcast. Corporation Mike was in the game. Allen was in the game. Jay was in the game. I mean, the game was just absolutely off the hook, insane. Supposedly Allen's buying the table a drink. Maybe I'll buy me a drink too. Hint, 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 hint. And under the gun action is Oliver there. He's going to limp in. Allen's going to limp in. Mo's going to limp in. Gil's going to limp in. Amir's going to limp in. George doesn't like his hand, though. And one chip, why not with Queen 5? Barry throws it in with Queen 5. And we're seeing 7-way action, $140 pot. And the flop is 8-5-3. And look at that. Mo has flopped a set of threes. And Mo is going to bet $60 right into his set of threes. And I don't think anybody can call here. Yeah, that's Ollie in seat number 7 there. And he's going to call him with 6-4. He's open-ended. And look at this. Wow, Mo has made quads on the turn. Right, and the river's a 9. And I got to say, luckily for Ollie there, he missed his hand. And once again, Allen taking one off on the flop with absolutely nothing. I mean, the flop was 8-5-3. Allen has ace-10, and he calls the $60 bet by Mo. And look at that. Somebody actually said, nice bluff, Mo.
Hey, Dave.
And look, and Allen actually says, I think my ace-10 was good. Yeah, you're great read there, Allen.
How you doing, Dave?
Oh, Bart, I didn't even know you were here.
Yeah,
How you doing, buddy?
and they got their own version of That's Allen's shirt, so I made my own little.
Right. This is the shirt that Barry got me. Where's that?
Oh, did you already show this shirt?
No, I didn't. I told everybody about it.
Ruined my. Oh, you already did tell everyone?
I told everybody that Barry bought a shirt and you were going to put it on.
But you didn't tell them what the shirt was.
I did not tell him. That was it. You did the big reveal.
Dave, I just found myself on an interesting journey.
Where did you go? Why didn't you just turn around?
Southern Eastern LA. Southern East LA.
It's a good neighborhood.
Yeah,
It really is a sweet neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You know, if I wasn't going to move to Burbank, Southeast LA was exactly where I was looking.
Right. So we did the circuit today.
Yeah, I told everybody about that.
It was Scott Huff's fault. That's why I was late there. I don't know if anyone's seen the little rainbow button that Barry keeps putting into Windows 6.
No, nobody's
shot
seen
of
it
that yet. All right, we'll get a shot of that when he
Isaac
comes
has chosen not
Interesting
to
to see that Gil is in the game here.
Yeah.
Georgian in seat 5, Barry in seat 6. All right, here we go. There's the button, seat 6. The window cam in seat 6.
Queen 9-8, 2 spades. Seat 9 has got a Queen 5.
Yep. We got a $40 bet here.
I apologize, Ronnie's a little slow today. There he is.
Yeah.
I love just ribbing Ronnie, you know, really giving it to him right in the side.
Well, the turn here is the 6.
Yeah, and that's not going to change much except it makes Amir now. Amir's open-ended with a bottom pair, and he's got a couple more outs now. Amir can catch a... Well, he can't catch a 7 because that would give Jonathan a straight, but he can catch a 6 or a 5 or a 10 now.
Amir's going to take it down there. So can we take a look at window camera 6 there? There it is. Mike's earring is gay.
Mike's earring equals gay.
Yeah, equals gay.
There you go. Okay.
Bud moves over here to seat 8.
It's good to know.
Oliver. With the little rainbow there, too. Of course, if you want to email us, you can email us at liveatthebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. You can also follow a live thread started on the internet, 2plus2.com.
Now, seat 9. No, seat 3. I'm sorry. Seat 3 has raised it up. Gil has raised it up. Ace-King suited. George is going to call this with, we can't see his cards. But Barry's also going to call with 10s. And there it is. George's got 6-4 spades.
Yep.
That's going to bring Oliver in there with ace-4 diamonds, I think, as well. No, he folded.
We're going to see four-way action here, and the flop comes ace-9-6. Well, George has got bottom pair and a spade draw. Gil's got the ace-king, and George's hand's big enough to really make a move here.
And Barry's hand, I mean, that's a tough fold for Barry.
Yeah. Gil's going to bet 400 here with top pair. He's got the ace-king. Let's see what George is going to do next to act.
And might you raise this up with George?
Well, wow, George's just going to fold. He just folds there with bottom pair and spade draw.
Really?
And Barry's
Wow.
not going to get involved with pocket tens.
See, I'm surprised. I mean, if you're in there with 6-4 spades, I mean, isn't that the kind of flop you're looking for?
Yeah, I would think if I was in there with 6-4 spades, I would be probably looking to hit trips, two pair, or a pair with a flush draw.
Well, so you got to realize if your opponent has exactly what Gil has, he has
Right.
ace-king there, you have 14 outs. You are, I mean, you're 50-50 in here. And
Yeah.
with the dead money in there, why not take a shot at it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know if Gil's the type of guy that's going to lay down ace-king there, but, I mean, if Gil knows that George is really tight, and you throw a raise in there,
Yeah.
it's tough for ace-king to play out of position the rest of the hand.
Yeah, I mean, Gil's not one of those players that I really want to mix it up with. He's a pretty solid player, but at the same time, I mean, I don't mind him laying it down, but if you're going to lay that down, what flop are you looking for? Are you looking to actually flop the straight?
Wow, look at this. Barry's got pocket ladies, got pocket queens.
Yeah, but threatening players, that's not right. I'm going to.
And look at
Gil's
this.
been
George
playing
has
in-
got ace-queen. George limps in and Barry raises.
And you wonder if Allen's going to get involved with Queen Jack. Allen's the kind of player, Queen Jack out of position to a raise. Yeah, sure, why not? And
Yeah.
sure enough, he calls.
$90 raise. Allen makes the call.
And that's the kind of hand. When Queen Jack offsuit out of position against the razor, very little value, huh?
And George is going to come in there with ace-queen. Well, luckily for George, he can't hit the queen because they're all dead.
Yeah, I mean, Barry's basically drawing that, isn't he?
You mean Allen?
Oh,
Look at this flop. Ace, ace, eight, and George hits trips.
Hey, we've got jackpot possibilities here, folks.
Yep.
If another ace were to fall, this would be a jackpot hand.
George bets 200. Barry calls the 200. And you're right. If another ace comes and that kicker stays low,
It's one outer here. We have
here
two
we go to the
shots for
turn.
it.
Oh, turns a deuce. That means if an ace comes on the river, it's good. George is going to bet again here. He's going to bet 600 now.
And Barry's obviously drawing dead here.
Absolutely dead.
Although, if an ace comes here, Barry will win the bad side of the jackpot.
Right.
And how much money did George bet?
600 here.
Man.
I guess the question now is, can you justify calling 600 to try to hit one out of maybe 45 cards to win what is
yeah.
probably $8,000?
Well, you're talking about the implied odds here. Okay,
Right.
I can't win the hand,
Right.
but I'm calling 600 to win, say, 10,000. But I've only got one out.
One out of 45. The odds just aren't there. But he's going to make the call. And this pot's about $2,000
Come on,
here.
ace.
As we go to the river.
Ace.
Here we go.
Ah.
River's a 6. And George is going to check, and Barry checks right behind him.
How does he check that?
Yeah, I don't understand how you check that if you're George with ace-queen. I would think that you'd want to put a bet in, get Barry to call you with kings or possibly with the weaker ace. But maybe he was just checking to induce a bluff. Surprising.
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, I really like George's game. I do. But I think when he looks at the tape and he looks that over and he goes, wait a second, you know what? If Barry had anything, don't you think you would have heard from him on the turn if he had ace-king?
Right.
Maybe he smooth calls once to see if Allen's in there. But when you bet again 600, Barry's not the type of player who really slow plays. He'll play that harder. I mean, he played it like he had queens, didn't he?
But on the turn, they only needed to avoid a king or a queen.
Queens or kings?
Put the king right up there.
There you go.
But you could have checked the turn for the jackpot.
George had 3 outs to win that hand, and he hits 2 of the 3. Unfortunately, not all 3.
Well, we hit the jackpot in our shootout.
Allen's got the button here. Seat number 1.
I mean, he called anyway, so what difference does it make?
Oh, there you go, George.
No, I'm just saying.
Gil's giving him some hell for betting there.
Man, what do you guys? I don't know how to play, dude. What? Come on.
George.
Well, Gil
Seems
is
like
giving
he's
him
on tilt.
Well, Gil is giving him hell because what he's saying is, why do you bet that? You're going to drive somebody out with queens.
Right.
You know, you don't want to bet that because you want to let the jackpot come. But you know what, though?
Makes sense.
Well, Allen's
You
going to raise.
you got to make your money on your hand.
Right. Allen's going to raise it up here. He's got pocket kings. He's going to raise it to 220, so 200 more here.
Now, I noticed Oliver threw away another play. Oliver, right away, I don't know Oliver in Seed 8. He's a new player on the game, but right away I've seen to a raise. He's thrown away ace-4 diamonds and now ace-7 of clubs. Right away I'll give a little notch on his little belt saying he must be a decent player. He's not chasing with ace-suited rag cards.
And Allen takes it down from with the raise there with pocket kings. So, of course, you can check that interview. We did about a 45-minute thing with Scott Huff on the circuit. Go to cardplayer.com. I don't exactly know when it's uploaded, Dave.
No, yeah, I don't know.
But it will be up sometime tonight. Funny thing about the Invitational, my pick, Barry Greenstein's right up there. And I haven't looked at it now in the last 2 hours, but the guy that knocked me out with Ace Queen, you had been knocked out. He's at the final table.
Yeah. Ace King of Hearts here for seed 8. Well, it just shows you the nature of a tournament game.
Right.
You win that hand, who knows? He wins that hand, he gets lucky, and suddenly he's at the final table.
Right.
Wow, and seed 8 here, Oliver's raising it up with Ace King of Hearts.
He's going to make it 120 to go. And look, Alan's got Jack 10 suited. He makes the call in seat 1.
Now this is a better call than Queen Jack out of position. Queen Jack offsuit out of position is really a garbage call. You shouldn't be calling a raise with that hand.
Absolutely.
Jack 10 suited in position, though. Hey, that's interesting, at least. Obviously, you're not looking for a jack here.
And we're heads up here. Jack 10 suited against Ace King.
Wow.
And Alan flops top pair and a spade draw. 10-8, 4-2 spades.
It's a monster flop. I mean, that's your once-a-week flop. It's a beautiful flop for you.
Oliver just bets 120, and Alan is just going to make the call. Jonathan is not in the hand as we go to the turn. The turn's a spade, and Alan's got the flush.
Not only does he have a flush here, he has an open-ended straight flush.
Yep.
I mean, he's obviously, Oliver's completely drawing dead.
Pot's about 600 here, and it looks like Oliver might bet here again, and he does.
Do you just call this, or do you raise here?
He's going to bet 300. Well, the only thing that you could possibly obviously be losing to is probably like, Ace King or Ace Queen of spades here.
I mean, the only thing you're scared of, though, is if the guy has, like, let's say 2 aces and one of them is the ace of spades.
Yeah.
And if he does have that, well, then you should raise and get him to call this.
Well, Alan raises, and Oliver immediately folds the hand.
Yeah, it's an easy laydown, obviously. Oliver has nothing there.
Don't you think it's kind of funny that Alan's wearing the That's Alan shirt?
He loves this.
Yeah, yeah.
He loves this. Attention for Alan. He loves it.
Right. No Corporation Mike tonight?
Not yet. He played into the wee hours last night.
Yeah.
Playing shorthanded with Joe Wynn.
Right.
And Jay.
Yep. I was privy to watching that as we were playing 5-10 on the table next to them.
Yes.
Ace Queen here for seat number 9. That's Jonathan. We haven't seen him on the show, have we?
No, I don't think so. There he is.
Looks like he's going to raise. He's going to make it 80 to go here. And Amir is going to call with an ace, deuce of spades. He's dominated. And Ali's going to come in with king 9 of diamonds. So here we go, 253 ways. Jonathan, the pre-flop raiser. Jack 8-6. It misses everyone.
Yeah, let's hit the pre-flop raiser. You can put a bet in there and take it down. Jonathan's reaching for chips. Looks like he's going to put out 200.
Yep. One stack of brown there. That's 200. That's probably going to be enough there to take it down.
Once again, we play this game with brown chips, sort of orange chips, like $10 chips.
White chips are $100 chips. Yellows are 5s. If you see big ones, they're thousands. Purple big ones are 5,000.
And once again, we're live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen, back from his trip through Southeast LA. That's Tracy there behind Jonathan.
Yeah. But moves over to seat 4. That's Amir. He's got the button. He's going to limp in. Barry's going to limp, and we're going to see three-way action. Limped around and in the blinds. Flop comes 9 deuce 8 here with a couple of clubs. We got 10-8 in there for Barry Woods. Amir's going to bet 50. He doesn't have anything, and Barry's going to call.
Actually, Amir's got top pair.
Oh, excuse me, 9 deuce 8. I thought it was 10-9-8. Well, let's see if Barry's going to get involved further here. Barry checks. Turn was a 6.
Barry's now picked up a straight draw. The 7 were the hit. He would have a straight.
Yep, Amir's going to bet 200. See if Barry's going to stay in there with a pair and a straight draw on a 2-flush board.
Now he throws it away. Shows the 8 and throws it away.
That's a big laydown for Barry, isn't it? And Amir's going to take it down.
Hey, this is pretty cool. You know we have a That's Alan table at the LA poker scene?
Yes, $25 no-limit cash game.
Yeah, and this is great. They're giving away, LA Poker Scene is going to give away $25 every time a player wins a pot with 6 of hearts and 3 of hearts.
Right.
The hand must complete 2 showdowns.
6 of hearts, 3 of hearts. head over to the LAPokerScene.com and play on the That's Allen table and monitoring it for the 3 hours that we are on tonight. You can see a $120 raise here by Mo. He's going to bring it in with 8-6 of hearts in seat 2. Barry's going to call with pocket 5s. We're going to take this heads up Mo with 8-6 of hearts against Barry with pocket 5s. Here we go. King 7-4.
Well, Mo has picked up a gut shot, but he needs one of Barry's 5s to hit it.
Well, he's going to continue to bet here. He's going to bet 220. Now, Barry has position on Mo, but I think the king is going to scare him.
Now, anybody that's new to the show here, check out those percentages up there. That is the percentage if it were to go down the showdown.
Right.
It's a new feature we have. We're still working at the kinks. Kind of a cool little feature for the percentages there.
Absolutely.
Wow, this is pretty cool here. LA Poker Scene is now running one table satellites for our casino, the Bicycle Casino's March 11th winning of the green event.
Awesome.
It's a $150,000 guaranteed no-limit hold'em tournament with a regular buy-in of $300. But now you can play against 9 others for $30 and earn your seat at a fraction of the cost.
There you go.
So if you don't want to come down to the Bicycle Casino and play in the one-table satellites that are already going on for the winning of the green event, you can do it online at LA Poker Scene. Pretty cool.
Have we ever seen Gil on the show before?
No, Gil is he primarily plays stud high-low or stud high. Once in a while, he'll play no-limit cash games, but over the last week, I've been seeing him in this game a lot. I think he heard about, through the grapevine how good this game was, and he said, you know what, I'm going to come down and see if I can get my pay.
Gil, of course, he's finished in so many tournaments. He enters like every tournament that's out there. It's unbelievable.
Well, I kind of call, like I was telling everybody, I kind of call Gil is like the Phil Ivey of the $300 tournament.
Right. Limped around here, 10-8 deuce with a couple of clubs. And Amir's going to come out and lead with ace-10 out of seat 4. Barry's going to get rid of pocket 3s. Jonathan's out of there. And let's see if Gil's going to get involved with 5s. No, he's not. And Amir's going to take it down. Kind of a tamer table here when Mike isn't here.
Well, definitely. Right now we have no Jay, we've got no Mike, we've got no Avo. Barry always, is fun for everybody, but he's not really going to drive the action.
Right.
More often than not, he'll call the action. Now, this is the kind of table that Mo might be able to actually run over a little bit more. You wonder if Mo does that. But then again, with Allen and Barry there, you wonder. Amir's been playing a little tamer tonight.
Buttons moved over here to Jonathan in seat number 9. Got an ace-queen here for Gil in the big blind in seat 3. Looks to be the best hand. Barry's got ace-10, and that's going to be good enough to raise here. And we're actually playing 6-handed right now. There's a couple people, there's 3 people away from the table.
Yeah, definitely. 6-handed out, late position, ace-10.
Gil's going to make the call. Brought it in for 90, so we're going to see about $200 heads up here. Barry's dominating. And if an ace flops, you wonder how much trouble he's going to get into. Well, Jack deuce here on the flop. Gil's going to check, it looks like. And Barry's pretty good about making continuation bets post-flop when he does.
It really puts Gil in a bad spot here. I mean, Gil can only beat a weaker ace pretty much. He can beat king, queen.
Well, he's gonna check call. It's a $130 bet, and he makes the call.
Wow.
Turns at 3. No improvement for both players. See, Barry bets again. Nope, check here.
Well, it's difficult to bet. You look at that flop, and what did this guy call me with?
River's a 9, and they're just going to check it down at the end, and
Gil's
going to win it with ace-queen.
And sometimes not raising and playing it like that, sometimes you can win it that way because a flop of Jack deuce, unless you put Gil on diamonds, it's really tough to put him on anything else.
Right.
And it's kind of scary because you don't have the Jack, and you wonder, am I bluffing right into the nuts?
Right.
So the final table of the Invitational started already.
Yep.
Barry Greenstein there. He's the big headliner.
Absolutely. I told you, he was my pick. I played with him for about
How many chips did he have
6
when you were playing
hours.
with him? Did he have a lot of chips?
No, he just accumulated them. I mean, he won a bunch of hands. Yeah.
Didn't win any big pots, though. A lot of small pots.
He made some calls all in against guys that were short chipped, and he had good hands, and he won. Jonathan's got pocket 10s here in seat 9. Mo's got ace-king on the button. See how Mo's going to play it. Jonathan's going to raise.
Looks like he's making $100 to go.
Yep.
How much?
$90. And it looks like Mo's just going to make the call. See if Amir's going to come in there with queen 8 suited. He is going to call. So we're going to see it three ways here. It's going to be about a $270 pot.
And Mir called out with Queen 8 spades. Huh? Wow.
Yep.
Mir's
Here we
really
go.
helped with the game there.
Jonathan, the pre-flop raiser. Oh, Jack 4-6. Jonathan's good here with 10s.
Let's see if Jonathan follows through and fires here. Pot is about $300.
And he's going to bet, looks like 220.
Okay.
And let's see if Mo's going to raise. He's going to raise it up here.
700.
He's going to make it 700 to go.
And you know what?
This is a really tough spot to be in if you're
It
10s.
really is. Now, there's not much of a draw out there. I mean, you wouldn't really put Mo on 7-5 here. You know, so Mo's got to pretty much be on a complete bluff here, or he's got you beat. You know, you wouldn't imagine that Mo would call the raise with 7-5. Maybe he would. But it's hard to picture that your 10s are good here. And
Maybe he's gonna get
goes
rid of
away.
it.
I think, you know, it's a really tough spot. You start thinking of a range. You start putting Mo on a range of hands. And Mo has got position with the ace-king. And that's the kind of thing that Mo can do at a table like this. He understands that he can probably outplay most of these players.
Yep.
You know, when you're playing with guys like Corporation Mike and Jay, who are not afraid to gamble up, you know, Mo's really got to kind of tailor his game back a little bit and play it more ABC.
Right.
But in a game like this, you might see him make a couple more plays here and there.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's our chip count right now. George's got the table covered with about 8,000. Barry's got almost 5,000. Amir with only 1,100. And almost $30,000 on the table, folks. And let's see how they're doing so far. And there's a difference of our George's already at 2,900.
Now,
Wow.
do we see this from the show, or is this before the show?
No, this is from the show.
You won a couple big hands
Yeah,
before I
he
got
won
in?
one big high.
Yeah.
Man. Allen up 1,100. Gil up 1,000. And Ollie is bringing up the rear there. He's down 1,700 already.
We're going to see five-way action limped around here. $100 pot. 4, 3, deuce. King 6 of hearts over there for Amir. Gut shot straight draw with a flush draw. Yeah, he's going to come out and bet from early position. He's
It's a
going
nice
to
bet there by Amir. Why not?
He's going to bet 50, it looks like. Allen's going to make the call here with the top pair. And as you can see, even though Amir does not have the best hand now, he is favored. And the turn's a deuce, and there he gets his flush.
One of the rare times where you can have not be ahead and hold them, but have the best hand, really. And you think of all the outs that Amir had, any 5, any 6, any king, and any heart.
Look at this, Amir only bets $30 here on the turn. And we're going to see a call
He
here
actually
by
bets
Allen.
60,
Actually
yeah.
60, but still kind of a weak bet. And Allen makes the call. Oh, the river's a 7, David. Gives Allen top 2 pair. Oh, no.
Yeah, and you just wonder, Allen's
300.
Amir's going to bet 300 here.
well, Allen can't beat a deuce, he can't beat hearts,
Right.
can't beat a straight.
You also can't be an overpair. You
Still can't beat an overpair, right?
couldn't beat pocket 5s, pocket 6s here.
He can beat 5 or 6s. Can't beat 8s.
Excuse me, you're right. 8s and up. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Wow, and he's folded.
Nice laydown by Allen.
Nice laydown there by Allen.
Real nice laydown.
Let's take a look over the chip counts. It looks like Barry Greenstein's taking a little bit of a hit here, Dave.
Wow, he was a big chip leader
Yeah,
there.
and
what are they down to 5-handed already?
Yep. And, yeah. Boy,
Looks
that,
like it looks
that
like
could be me in seat 6, Dave.
Oh,
Button moves over here to Amir in seat 4. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions.
They got an email here from Maurice. He says, "How do you guys pay for the webcast?" And the truth be told, we don't pay for it. Actually, it's completely free. We all work. We're all volunteers.
Right?
I didn't have the ring.
And Mike Matisow actually was not on with us. He came on after us because Scott wanted us to be on together.
You know why we handle the you guys use
Scott's exact words. You said, "If the mouth was on the show, we wouldn't hear a word you guys said."
Right.
3 more, 3 more.
Barry, looks like Barry's going to raise it out of the big blind here. He's going to make it 60 more with ace jack offsuit. I wonder if that's going to drive anybody out.
Well, let's see. Well, you know what? He's betting for value. I mean, ace jack offsuit is a tough hand to play out of position, but let's see what
Yeah, I mean,
happens.
that seems like some kind of a hand that you might do with like a suited connector, although I don't like to put pot sweeteners in on a position. I don't want to see this hand, say, 4 ways. But
No, I mean, I'd be more likely to make it 150 to go.
Right. Well, he's hit the ace. Ace 10-7.
Now, Gil has got second pair, and Gil has already seen Barry bluff once. You wonder if Gil's going to get involved with second pair.
Barry's going to bet 200 here into about a $250 pot. And you can see the percentages there.
It's always nice to sweeten the pot when you've got the winner.
Gil kind of playing it a little bit conservatively here. I mean, just from what I know. Well, he hasn't folded yet.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he's real aggressive in tournaments. Obviously, tournament play is a lot different than cash game
in
play.
tournaments, he really likes to see a lot of flops. I mean, I played with him numerous times in tournaments, and he just plays. I mean, he plays almost every hand. But he doesn't like to raise that much. He just likes to see the flop
Really?
and try to take away things really cheap.
Yeah, interesting.
Kind of the Phil Hellmuth school of poker. And there you see Barry Woods stacked there. Most players keep their chips in denominations of 20 chips per stack.
So a stack of white is 2,000.
Right.
Buttons over there in seat 5. That's George Georgia. And it looks like Amir's picked up an ace-jack suited, but Mo's got big slick offsuit in seat 2, and he's going to raise.
And look at that, seat 7 there. Ali, he's got big lick.
Big lick and big slick. Mo's going to make it 120 here. And look at this, Gil's got ace-queen suited.
Wow, and a couple of ducks in seat 9 total.
Yeah, ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack.
Deuces for
Right.
Jonathan in seat 9.
Let's see what Gil's going to do. I mean, he's got the chips. Is he going to make the re-raise? And he is. He's going to re-raise Mo.
Wow, with ace-queen suited here.
And this is going to save Amir. He's going to easily fold.
And Amir's smart. He knows ace-jack suited to a raise and a re-raise, garbage. Throw it away. But I imagine Mo is probably going to call.
Yep.
And he does. And this is heads up about a $500 pot.
Here we go. Now, Gil has position on Mo. We know the other ace is dead. There's only one ace left in the deck. Wow, Gil flops over cards with the nut club draw.
Yeah, Mo still has the best hand here.
But look at this. Mo's going to bet 500, and Gil moves all in. Mo bets 500, and Gil moves all in over the top. And I think Mo's trying to figure out how much more here it is, and he's not even going to get involved with it.
Hey, now that's a tournament play, and it's a great play by Gil.
Yeah.
Gil used his position. Even though he had an inferior hand, he figured, I can raise Mo. If Mo misses, I can take this away. Sure enough there, Gil had a big flop for his hand. And instead of just calling and hoping to hit his hand, he really made the aggressive play and, took it away from Mo.
Yep.
If he just calls that and he misses, Mo's going to win that with ace-king high. LA Poker Scene. Check it out. Go to liveatthebike.com on the right-hand side. You can click on the banner. All sorts of features going on there. LA Poker Scene is still the home of the $500,000 free roll, folks. $500,000.
Button moves over there to seat 6, Barry Woods. Limped around.
Another cool feature actually of LA Poker Scene, I actually went on there. They have heads-up matches.
Yeah.
Really cool. I mean, where else you get to play really like those heads-up matches? I love that stuff.
5-way action here. Jack 3-3 in seat number 8 there. Oliver in the blind. He's got king 3. Let's see how he's going to play. He checks it from up front.
Yeah, Mo's got top pair, and Mo's going to bet it.
Yeah. Looks like 80.
100.
This
Well,
is
it's 100.
$100, and you figure Oliver's probably going to raise this up here, or is he going to play it slow?
Yeah, he's going to make it 400. And I think that Mo's probably going to be done with the hand from what we've seen from Oliver tonight. I
Yeah.
can't imagine. And Oliver looks to not have much left. Yeah, he's only got maybe 1,000 left or so. Wow, and Mo moves over the top all in. Shocking, Dave. Shocking.
You know what? I think Mo puts him on a jack. He doesn't put him on a 3. He put him on a jack, and he obviously a bad read here by Mo.
Yeah.
And he figures Oliver's a pretty tight player.
I don't even know why Oliver's thinking this long here.
Well, you know what? He's a
gonna
pretty
make
tight
the call.
player, and he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Now you want to make a deal or let it go?
We'll let it go.
Yes?
We'll let it go.
No, let it go. Go on.
All right, well, Mo's going to need to catch a jack here. Turns a queen. Now Mo could catch a queen or a jack. And the river's a queen!
man!
Threes and queens.
The river's a queen!
Oh, my!
My goodness. And
Oh.
I said, did you want to make a deal?
Oh, my. That is ugly. And I got to say, I mean,
Unbelievable. I can't believe Mo got involved with that hand after the flop.
Well, I want to throw this at you, okay? There's a thin line between looking like an idiot and looking like a genius in poker.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think there's a good chance that Mo, remember this guy did not raise pre-flop. I think Mo really thought maybe this guy had like king jack, ace jack, even ace jack. And if the guy only has that, I think Mo goes, you know what, this guy's a little tight. I can
Yeah.
get him off that hand.
Wow.
He obviously did not put him on a 3.
Well, the guy was in the blind, though. He could have anything.
I agree with you. I just obviously Mo misread him though. He thought he could get him off the hand. Obviously Mo doesn't put him on a 3 if he thinks he can get him off the hand.
I'm amazed, though, because, I mean, the other thing, going back in the way I'm thinking about that hand, though, is, okay, what if the guy does have a jack? I mean, there are other hands with a jack that you can't beat.
No,
like,
there are.
Queen Jack and Ace Jack, and the guy only has 1,000 left, which means if you re-raise him, it's much less likely that you're going to get him off of the hand. He's on the short stack.
Yeah, I think, though, but that guy, I mean, maybe Mo had been playing with him for a couple hours.
Yeah.
I think if that guy has King Jack or maybe even Ace Jack, he might lay it down. I mean, look at it. He actually thought about it with a 3. Wow, though. Tough beat there for Oliver there. Runner, queen.
Wow.
Man. You know, it's funny.
Little raise here, I believe, by Amir, and Barry called. Wow, both players have heart draws here. Unbelievable.
If the heart comes here, Amir's going to go broke.
And actually, maybe Barry raised pre-flop. I can't tell. Barry bet 100 here, and Amir called. Oh, boy, if we see a heart here. Oh, the turn's a 9.
Well, Ace High is still the best hand here. Amir needs a Jack, a 6, or a 10 here to win this pot. And it can't be a heart.
Amir checks, and Barry bets 300 after betting 100 on the flop. And is Amir going to check raise?
Yeah,
Looks
Amir
like
loves
he's got
to
a
make-
lot of chips here.
Yeah, he likes to make these moves.
And he's going to make it the minimum, though. And you know that Barry's going to at least stay in here. Barry's got the nut flush draw here. And if a heart comes, Amir's going to go broke.
The problem is, though, if a heart doesn't come and Amir follows
Yeah.
through, is he going to win the pot? Oh, then
Oh,
he's
the
6.
river's a 6, and Amir's got a pair now. And now he checks it once he got there. Now he
got
checks it, and Barry gives up. You're right. You know he would have fired through, and Barry's going to be sick. Wow. So, you know, Amir would have fired on the river, but he made a pair, and he checked it. The funny
Although,
thing
although
is
I
that
don't know if he would have fired, because did he really think his 6 of diamonds was good?
Well, at the same time, I mean, Barry's betting out the whole way with high cards. You can't put Barry on a flush draw when you're in a flush draw. So
No.
you're right. It's like, I'm surprised Amir didn't bet the river.
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was that, well, he got a pair, so now he's going to check it. He can't think the 6 was good. He was probably just giving up.
Well, then my question to you is, why would you just check raise the minimum on the turn? You're not going to have any fold equity there.
There's no fold equity at all.
So it's
especially
kind of a
against Barry.
strange way that hand played out.
Especially against Barry Woods.
Yeah.
If you want to make him fold, you got to call to 300
Right.
and raise another 1,000. Then maybe Barry throws it away and you made a guy's play. Raising it up 300 more, what's that going to do?
Yeah, that didn't make a whole lot of sense the way that hand played out.
Well, that's it. Look, 2 suckouts in a row. You know, it's funny. We always see bad players make suckouts, right? And obviously, bad players are going to make more suckouts than good players because they're more often going to be behind.
Right.
That's just obvious logic there. But, you know, good players get lucky, too. You've got to realize that. It happens.
Jack deuce 10 here, limped around. Now, George in seat 5's got ace queen. He did not raise pre-flop. He's got a gut shot with overcards. His cards are not up there in seat 5.
C8 anyone? C8?
And it looks like we can see a bet here by seat number 7, Ali. With ace 4, he's making a bluff at it. Got checked to him. And was it Jonathan there that bet or Ali? Looks like maybe it was Jonathan on the button that bet. And George is going to make the call. That makes a lot more sense. Jonathan's made the bet there with middle pair. And George has made the call. Overcards and a gut shot. Remember, this pot was limped around. Here we go to the turn. Wow, turn's a queen, and George got top pair.
Yeah, it's not the one he wanted, Bill.
Is that the nut? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the queen of hearts. It's because of the nut draw, but you'd much rather see a king or an ace in that one, I think.
Check on the
Wow.
turn, and the river is a 9, and it gives George the nut flush. Jonathan also has a flush
Yep.
with the 10 of hearts. And the only hands that Jonathan cannot beat here are the king of hearts and the ace of hearts. George bets 250 here.
Into about about a $300 pot.
Yeah.
Now, Jonathan's 10 of hearts, normally you don't like the 10 of hearts, but you're right. The jack and the queen are out there.
Right.
Runner hearts there. Gets George there. Obviously, the queen was already good.
Right.
If an offsuit 9 had come, Jonathan would have made it straight.
Boy, imagine if Jonathan had 8-10 of hearts here.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's not that deep. You imagine he moves all in, and George is just going to have to call.
Or he might raise the minimum, which
Yeah.
a lot of players like to do. And then George would probably just call again.
You can't re-raise there if you get
No,
raised the minimum.
definitely not.
Yeah.
We point that out all the time.
Yeah.
If you get raised, if you are George and you get raised here,
Yeah.
all you can do is call. You cannot re-raise.
And Jonathan does make the call, and
Yeah.
George is going to take it down with the ace of hearts.
Now, those overcards are obviously a little more valuable because you also have the gut shot as well.
Right.
And in an unraised pot, it's less likely that somebody would have ace-jack or ace-10, so you figure maybe your ace is live as well.
So George continues to be our big winner here so far tonight. We're about 45 minutes into the show. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com.
Now, you weren't here for this, but George told me that he went and saw a voodoo doctor to help him get rid of his bad beats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I picture this guy, like, dancing around him, throwing chickens at him or something. I don't know.
Niels van der Linden says, "Ha, I was the one that posted that link for that Asian girl shirt on the Live at the Bike thread." So we can see Jonathan over there in seat 9. You can see Jonathan over there in seat 9. And then we can see me.
Sometimes I wonder what the show is coming to. Really sad. And Tracy is clearly with him while you're sitting next to me. What does that say about you?
That's true. Yeah, what has happened here at the table?
And everybody seems to have taken a break for a second. And you know, it's funny, it's not a tournament, and sometimes this happens, folks. Every once in a while, everybody gets up and they all got to pee at the same time.
Looks like Kenny Wynn's going to come into seat 8 there.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny. You know how girls like to go to the bathroom together. Sometimes guys do too.
Yeah, apparently. And it looks like we're going to play a little bit short here, maybe 5-handed.
Yeah, 5-handed. It'll be interesting to see if Mo can run this table over. But with Allen on the table, it's hard to run anybody over. Allen kind of keeps you in check because he calls everything.
That's true. At least going to limp in here with Jack 10 offsuit.
And I got to tell you, in a short-handed game, I'm going to be raising with most of my hands that I'm coming in with. Even with no limit.
I mean, a lot of players don't get a chance to play short-handed a lot, but I know you and I are here pretty, sometimes late night. I mean, we do get that experience.
Yeah, last night I was playing, after you left the game last night, like I told you, I was playing 4 or 5-handed. It was great.
Barry checked it out of the blind, so we're heads up Queen 8 against Jack 10 here.
Oh, Barry's got the best hand here.
Check on the flop. Turns at 3.
Nobody has a diamond. And if this goes check, and they both miss, Barry's going to win with Queen High. Yeah, and the 4th diamond's up there. They're both going to check, and Barry's going to take this down with Queen High.
Yeah, no one has a diamond or a pair. How often does that happen? You see a 4 flush out there, you've got 2 people in the hand, and no one has a flush or a pair.
Yeah, nobody has anything. Actually, Queen High wins it.
That's pretty rare. Pretty rare
Yeah.
to put that combination of cards out there.
And you wonder if maybe Ollie didn't throw money in there thinking maybe his Jack High was good. I don't know.
Especially the one that you got from Mike, I never.
Button moves over here. See, too. You know, the thing about this game is, when I came running in here after I got lost on my way over from Commerce, the board for this game is like 20 people deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, normally in a casino, there's like a 30-minute rule. You can leave the table for 30 minutes. We have an exception to that rule. I think our rule is like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because obviously we don't want to have a short game for a long time.
Right. So let's talk about a little bit what we talked about in the circuit. You know, it's funny.
I have to talk about one thing first. I'm just curious. For anybody who doesn't know L.A.,
Oh, yeah.
Commerce Casino, which is where we were doing the interview, is like, yeah, I mean, it's literally like 3.5 miles from here. I mean, it's like 5 minutes. How did you get lost?
I missed the turn coming from Washington. I missed the turn on Eastern. And then I was kind of, for some reason, like, I lost my direction as Mo raises here on the button.
Yeah, he's raising it up with Queen 8 here, and he's going to take advantage of this.
Yeah, and he's going to take it down. I missed the turn, and then for some reason I was thinking that it was a right on Eastern coming back from Commerce, but it's actually a left. you have to go south. So I sat there and I'm like, you actually called me on the phone. You actually were following me. You're like, I'd call you and I'm like, what did I do here? I'm like, see this big rail yard. You're like, you passed Washington. You're like, I turned around and we head back the other way. I'm like, oh, let me see if I can find my way without turning around.
Yeah.
So I make a right. So I start heading north instead of south. And I'm in East LA. Like I said, I'm in Southeast LA.
Yeah, see, there are some
And I'm in the
places-
side streets, and I swear to God, these gangsters. And stuff. I was in like one of the worst areas I've ever seen.
Really?
I'm sitting there, I'm trying to pull off to the side of the road with my interior light on. Thank God I had my Thomas Guide in my car. Thomas Guide, for anyone that doesn't know, is like a map of
No,
LA.
yeah.
You don't keep that in your Cherokee? Or
So
what?
it's very similar to we're talking like National Lampoon's Vacation, pulling over like, can I have directions?
Yeah, right. Three-way action here. It looked like it was limped around.
I got to tell you, there are some places where if I get lost, I'll try to make my way around. You know what I mean? If I'm in like Beverly Hills, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
lost can I get? No big deal. If I'm in Southeast LA, I'm gonna just turn around and go the exact way I'm supposed to go.
Kenny made a bet here after it got limped around. He's going to bet with ace-9, and Alan's going to call with bottom pair.
Yeah, Alan needs a 4 or a 6 here.
Kenny's almost a 90% favorite here, as you can see, with one card to come. Oh, the river's a 4. But Kenny is not going to pay probably Alan off that much here.
No,
And look at this. Kenny checked the river.
Well, he's only got ace-9. He got
Yeah.
called. I mean,
And Alan's going to bet.
the third diamond's out there. There's no way Alan.
Yeah.
This is the problem with going for something like Alan. Alan's only going to win this hand on that turn. After the turn, Alan's only going to win this hand 12% of the time, which suggests he should win, say, 8 times whatever he put in there for implied odds to make it worthwhile. And he's not going to make anything.
No.
Although I might be wrong.
Well, even if he makes 80, though, it's nowhere near the implied odds that he should have made.
I don't think yeah,
Yeah, he's not
I was
even going to
gonna
make
say.
anything.
I would have been really surprised if Alan called him.
He says that's Alan. Trip 4s on the river. That's Alan. Look at Mo and Alan taking the O'Douls down.
Say it again?
The O'Douls. Non-alcoholic
Yeah.
beer. Yeah.
Once again, if you want to follow a live thread, you can go to 2plus2.com. We do follow it. Do appreciate it. And if you want to email us with any questions, concerns, criticisms, or comments,
Yeah.
email us at live@thebike.com.
You know, I didn't even get a chance to tell Isaac that one of the guys that runs the... we got Pocket Kings here in seat number 1.
Yeah, Alan's got Cowboys.
Yep.
But Barry's going to raise it up with ace-3. Actually, no, he limps it. I'm
Just
sorry.
a little limp in late position. And Alan just completes in the small blind with Kings, I believe. I do not think he said raise. Wow. So he limps in with Kings in the small blind here. And here we go. Oh, and he flops top set, and Barry's got top pair. Yeah, can you imagine if Barry hits an ace or a 3 here on the turn? It would be disastrous for him.
Yeah, if he hits an ace or a 3, he's in a lot of trouble here.
Barry's going to bet 50, and we assume that Alan's just going to call, and he does.
Now, the problem with this is you really got to try to build a pot.
Yep. Here we go to the turn. Turns an 8. Alan checks. Barry's going to bet again. And Alan needs to make some sort of move here because Barry
Right.
might just check it down on the river.
Oh, Barry is going to check it down
Yeah.
the river.
Alan mini raises to 200 here. He's check raised at 100 more.
And Barry was trying to keep the pot small. You saw that little
Yeah.
$1 bet.
Yeah.
He's trying to keep this pot small. He doesn't love his hand. He's not stupid.
I don't think you're going to get there.
And obviously, Barry is drawing dead.
We can see such a change in Barry Wood's game. I mean, I know we're hard on him, Dave, but I mean, in months ago, he might never lay this hand down, and now he's going to lay it down to a $100 check raise,
Well, you know
taking advantage of who the player is that's check raising him.
He's paying attention to who is check raising him.
Yeah,
And would Allen check raise with a hand worse than ace-3 here?
right.
And I don't think so.
No, he's got to have a minimum of 2 pair, right?
And Allen even said, I don't have an ace.
Yeah.
Come on, it was a limped around pot and you're in the small blind. He could have anything. He could have 4 king.
Oh, Barry's going to call here, though. I thought he was going to get rid of it.
Barry's drawing dead, folks.
Well, luckily, an ace doesn't come for him on the river. It's a queen.
An ace or a 3 obviously would have been killer.
And Alan's going to bet 400 now. Again, the problem with Barry calling that turn bet is, unless he thought he was going to improve, he knew he was going to probably face a good-sized bet on the river, right?
Exactly. You know Allen's got at least 2 pair or better.
And Barry lays it down.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, it's a good laydown for Barry. Probably $100 too late, but
Yeah.
still, good laydown.
Watch it tomorrow.
I gotta tell you, Corporation Mike is raising there. Barry's not going anywhere.
Right.
You're screwed up by showing your
Like I
age.
said, I didn't even get a chance to tell Isaac that the guy that ran the, I guess the video there
Yeah.
was a big like Mac freak. They had this unbelievable Mac setup, which was like this PC, which was the PC and the monitor all in one
Right.
type deal.
Be like,
And
flag, all right?
he actually couldn't get Live at the Bike to work on his Mac, but I told him that I would hook him up with Isaac.
Oh, wow.
And he wants to talk. He wants to talk a lot of. He says, "I'm looking forward to talking to Mac." What is it? Windows Media Player 10? Is that what it was? Yeah. Mo has got Ace Queen suited here, seat 2.
Pocket deuces for Gil.
Yep.
Gil's got enough money and Mo's enough money to definitely be in there.
But it's just limped here.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
okay.
The blinds did not raise each other. Mo didn't raise and Gil didn't raise. And Mo's going to come out and
And they're
bet
not,
here.
they chose not to chop it. They're actually playing.
Yeah.
And look at Gil. Gil's a small favorite over Mo. But Gil's not going to get involved here. Shows him his ducks.
Actually, you know what? I think what they're doing here. I think Mo said that I'm playing it because I had a jackpot hand, and then they might just chop the pot up here.
Oh, there you go. That's
Yeah.
why.
I have deuce deuce. The flop. The only hand you can make a jackpot is deuce 3 offsuit. Any other hand you can make a jackpot.
Yeah, Gil was telling him about the jackpot thing. I'm not a big fan of. I never understood that when people say, "Well, let's play this because I have a jackpot hand."
I'll tell you.
You never know what a jackpot hand is going to look like.
Right.
I mean, you can have 6-4, okay, and you can make a jackpot.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Oh, Gil folds. I guess they're not going to chop it up. Thought they were.
Open up the hand. I don't want to.
And Mo's going to take it down because Mo usually chops. Maybe Gil doesn't chop. Who knows? Of course,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
we're playing a raked game, rake collection, so you can chop, and it's a reduced rake. It's only 50 cents if you don't see a flop.
You know, it's interesting. When I was playing at the other casino in L.A., I was actually wondering because that was a time collection game.
Yeah.
And I never understood why would you chop it up in a time
Oh,
collection
that's
game?
yeah.
What am I mean, unless I'm sitting next to like Phil Ivey, then I chop it up every time.
Right.
I gladly chop it. Can we chop Phil, please, again?
I'm sure he wouldn't chop with you, Dave.
No, I wouldn't. Oh, I wouldn't chop if I was him either.
Well, we get folded around to the blinds here again, and again you can kind of see the flavor. It's a tighter table because this is the second hand in a row here.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, with Corporation Mike and with Jay and with Patrick in the game. That's
Yeah,
not
one
gonna happen.
player really switches the whole game
Yeah.
around. One player it turns the whole game upside down.
I'm trying to say, who would you call "quote unquote" the livest one here at the table? I mean, Amir, he'll mix it up with those guys, and so will Barry, but they're not going to be that player that's
No,
going to create
I
it.
don't think there's nobody at this
Yeah.
table that's like out and out a weak player.
Well, I didn't necessarily mean weak by that, but I'm saying like the livest like gives the most action. You know, again,
Action-wise? Oh, you mean action-wise?
yeah,
Might be Mo right now.
right.
I mean, think about it. Mo moved all in with Queen
Right.
Jack. Mo might be the most action at the table.
Kenny Wynn's going to raise it up here with King Queen, and then again for the third time we're not going to see a flop.
I mean, we've seen 3 or 4 big pots tonight, and they've all included Mo.
Kenny Wynn plays it pretty solid.
Yeah,
honestly.
he's a solid player. If Kenny's in there, he's usually got the good. But Kenny is not going to be pushed around. He's one of those tight but really solid players.
And one of the things I have to give credit to Barry Woods for, again, is that, he'll give action to the right type of player, like a Mike or like a Jay or like a Patrick, but he's not going to create action here because now he notices the players that he's playing against,
Exactly.
Exactly.
There are some players you got to pick your spots, obviously,
Yeah.
and figure out when's the right time to do it.
Yeah.
You didn't like that way to play?
Button moves over here to Amir. He's got Jack 7 offsuit.
No limit I play in tournament. I just started playing live.
I think we just heard that Gil said that he just started playing no limit cash games here recently.
Yeah, and I was saying, I mean, we haven't seen him in the live at the bike at all, but I've been watching him for the last, say,
Look at this.
last couple of weeks.
Fourth hand in a row we don't see a flop.
Wait a second, is somebody else's Barry Woods' avatar on 2.2?
This is a different thread I'm looking at here.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is last night's thread.
Yeah.
I got you. Got confused there for a second.
Buttons over in seat 5. This isn't the type of streak that I want to see, but it's been 4 hands and we haven't seen a flop.
Very strange.
Yeah.
And there we got the chip counts that Barry
chip
has
count.
rebought
Yep.
for a lot of money. George obviously still has a lot of money. Jonathan only has 800. That's not much for this game, but you know what? The game is playing pretty small right now.
Yep.
And then look at their ups and downs. George up over 2,500.
Yep.
Barry down almost 2,500.
This pot's going to be limped around, and we're going to see four-way action here. Oh, wow. Flop comes out King 7-6. Now, two players have top pair here. Gil's got King Jack, but Seat 8's got King Queen, and Kenny checks it from up front with Seat 8. And so did Gil, and Amir is going to bet with nothing here. This is amazing. Two players trying to play a little bit tricky, although Kenny, he might just be in check call mode. You know he plays it pretty conservatively. And if he makes a move here, he might save Gil, but he's just going to... Did he check? Yeah, he's going to check raise here.
Yeah, and you know what? It's Kenny Wynn making the move. I'm not sure if Gil is familiar with Kenny Wynn here. But, you know, Kenny Wynn is not that player. If Kenny check raises me, King Jack hits them up faster than I can say anything.
Right.
I mean, he does it at Jack of Hearts.
And again, I wanted to see how that hand was going to play out in a limped pot if, you know, Amir had, maybe Amir had checked, or maybe Amir had bet and Kenny had just called. What would Gil would have done?
Yeah.
Because Gil thought he was going to play it kind of tricky here, unless he wanted to just keep the pot small, a top pair here.
And Gil gets rid of it. Nice laydown by Gil.
Yeah. And Amir's just making a move.
He throws it away.
And Kenny's going to take it down. Well, as you can see, though, you can see that the game is playing smaller than usual because several players would just come in and bought for 1,000. I mean, that would be nowhere near adequate for this game normally.
Well, it's funny. Last time when you played on this game, I want to say 3 weeks
I had
ago.
2,500.
And you had 2,500, and that was not nearly enough because every pot was like $600 pre-flop.
Right.
Tonight's game, though, you could probably buy into this game for, say, 1,600 or maybe 2,000 and have plenty of money.
2,000 is perfect.
Yeah, 2,000 would be plenty of money right now in this game. The way this game is playing.
Button moves over there to seat number 6, Barry Woods.
I mean, George in seat 5 has got a ton of chips, but he's not really moving around. He's not pushing him.
Allen's going to raise here to 60. He's got pocket.
Actually, Jonathan.
Yeah. With the ace-jack suited. And Allen calls with pocket 5s. Okay. So we're going to see it heads up here. Ace-jack suited against pocket 5s. And Jonathan's pretty short over there as well in seat 9.
And he only had $800. He's got about $720 left.
Well, pretty nice flop for him. Gut shot straight draw with the nut spade draw.
Yeah, that's a big, big hand there, folks.
But look at this. Allen flops a set of 5s.
Wow.
Wow. And he's going to come and bet.
Now, if Allen plays this the way he should,
my.
If both players play it the way they should, all the money should go in right now.
Allen just makes the smooth call, though. Of course, he's going to slow play it. $110 bet and a call. And the turn is the 8 of spades. Jonathan's got the nut spades. And Allen's got bottom set here, folks.
Yeah, Allen's going to need the board to pair here. He has 10 outs, folks.
Look at
10 outs only.
Jonathan's only going to bet 110 again here.
Well, Allen's going to call.
And Allen just calls, and here we go to the river. Oh, the river's a 3. Let's see what Jonathan does now. He's thinking about it here. And he's going to bet pretty much all in here. And Allen, look at this. Allen throws all his chips in. I think Allen thinks he has the nuts here. I think he was waiting to the river to slow play. Yeah. Nut flush there for Jonathan. Again, like you said, the way that hand and that flop, with those two hands played out, if you're in a deeper stack game, all the money could go in on the flop, could go all in on the turn. You never know with the guy with the set on the turn. If I'm sitting there with bottom set and I have not raised the flop and the turn comes a 3rd spade, it's a little bit dangerous sometimes. I mean, you might want to represent spades, but your hand is so big that you don't want to put a raise in and get re-raised off of a hand that could bust a flush.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I just don't understand the way the hand was played out. I mean, if the guy doesn't make a draw and he just bets there and he bets another one, Allen puts all the money in the river, where if the guy has missed his draw, you're not going to get paid.
Right.
I mean, the only way he gets paid there is if Allen does hit the board pairs. Okay, hey, all the power to you. You're going to get paid there. But a board like King 10-5, King 10 with 2 spades, you got to be scared. I mean, you've got to get some money in that pot.
Absolutely.
I don't think anything changes. I still say that Jonathan's going to double up there. But I mean, the way that hand probably should have played out was Jonathan raises, right? Jonathan bets. Allen raises him. Jonathan moves all in with that huge draw.
Absolutely. Mo's going to raise it here to 7. He's got pocket 7s. Is there a name for pocket sevens?
I don't know. I mean, there's a card game. It's, Man with the Axe. They call it an axe.
Yeah. Is there walking sticks?
I've never heard of walking sticks. But I'll there you go.
Amir's made the call here with Jack 8 of spades, and Barry's in there with pocket deuces.
That'd be pretty cool, though. I like that.
Look at Ali. He played it so tight, but he's going to make the call here with Queen 10. He's on the button. And we're going to see 5-way action here. And it's a $350 6-way action. $430 flop here. 9, 6, 8 here. Mo's got an open-ended straight draw. Look at it. Kenny Wynn's got the best hand here with ace 9.
Yeah, now, this is an interesting little quiz question for all you people at home. Would you rather have Mo's hand in this case or Amir's hand in this case?
Well, Amir actually has Jack 8, not Jack 7. So that's going to change things a little bit.
Well, okay, well, let's just keep it as Jack 7 just for argument's sake.
Well, he's folding.
Whose hand would you rather have, though?
Now Mo's bet out 300 here. And we're going to see fold. Now, Ali, he's got a gut shot to the jack there with overcards. He's not getting involved. Let's see what Kenny Wynn's going to do with ace 9 here. There's 2 clubs out there. He's got ace 9 of hearts. Mo raised it pre-flop. And he's made 1 bet. He could have been making a continuation bet. Although, I got to tell you, with Mo's game, if he had raised there with, say, ace king of diamonds and he got a bunch of callers, I don't think he leads at that flop.
No,
ace king of spades.
Wow.
And Kenny's going to check raise.
A lot.
He's going to make it 500 more. And in essence, going to probably put him all in. And now Mo's got to figure out with the draw how many outs he has. If Kenny just has a 9, could Mo count his 7s as outs and have 2 outs to the 7 plus an open-ended straight draw? So
the problem is, though, what is if Kenny has ace king of clubs or ace queen of clubs?
Right.
It's an interesting question.
If Mo thought that, he would have 10 outs here.
Depending on how the pot is played out.
Yeah.
And Mo's going to call
He's
this.
going to make the call.
He's going to gamble.
Yeah, and Kenny's going to put the rest of his chips in. And you know what? The way that those percentages are, Mo's actually making the right play if they knew what the cards were.
Yeah.
Here we go to the turn. The turn is a queen of clubs.
Changes nothing here. Neither player has a club in their hands. Mo needs a 7, a 10, or a 5.
They're going to run it twice here. The one time is an ace of diamonds, and the second time is a deuce, and Kenny is going to take it all there. Mo needs a 7, a 10, or a 5.
Yeah. Mo gambles a little bit with what probably was the right gamble, odds-wise. Now, anybody wanted to know at home, obviously, I would much prefer having the Jack 7 as opposed to 7-7, because if you're behind, Mo's only got 1 out.
Right.
There. Next to Jack 7, while Amir, obviously in that case, if he had Jack 7, a 10 would give him the higher straight, and a 6 would give him the same straight. And obviously a Jack would give him a higher pair.
Are you familiar with this movie here that Ross McGinley posted here on 2+2, Judgment Night? Is that about somebody getting lost?
I guess so.
I vaguely...
Judgment Night.
That's Emilio
Estevez.
Estevez there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Judgment Night.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum. Once again, we're live at the bike here, folks. I'm David Tuckman here at Bart Hansen.
Yeah, walking sticks. Pocket
That's
sevens.
cool. It's
I
also
should say
called-
that she's talking
Look
about
at this. Saturn, mullets, sunset strip, and walking sticks.
We're taking a look at something at, if you go to the pokerforum.com/handnames.htm, you can check out the nicknames for some of these hands.
Great players.
3-way action here, limped around. 9-9-4 here, and it looks like we got trip 9s here for Gil. Oh, wow, and Jonathan's got the same hand. And Jonathan comes out and he leads. He bets 40. Allen gets out of the way. Let's see what Gil's going to do with the trip 9s. He makes the smooth call. The turn's a deuce. We're looking at the same hand here. And now Jonathan's going to check. And Gil's going to bet with the 3 9s.
70.
He's going to bet 70. Allen is not in the hand. And obviously we say 0 and 0 here because both players cannot win the hand outright if it goes to showdown.
Exactly.
And he's going to make the check raise here. And now if you're Gil, the guy let out on the turn, he checked you, and now he's check raised you. You got to start thinking of the hands that someone might have a 9 with. Wouldn't 7-9 be the worst?
Yeah.
Now this guy is in the blind and it's an unraised pot. So could there be a possibility that you
Well,
could
that's the
have a
thing,
slight
exactly.
better kicker?
Since he is in the blind, he could have anything. He could have 9-5, he could have 9-4. Well, 9-4 is no good, obviously.
Well, he only check raises to about 110, and Gil calls. And here we go with the river. The river's a 10. And the pot's about $500
I
right
wouldn't
now.
be surprised if this goes like $200 bet and $200 call.
That's
Gil
what it
is
looks
not
like.
stupid. He's not gonna raise
Yeah.
this.
They both have the same hand. $200 bet, $200 call.
I gotta say, I'm really impressed with Gil's game. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't really play that many no-limit cash games, but he's one of those really, really good tournament players that you've never heard of. That you'd imagine would be very good.
I think
at cash
some
games.
people that have followed tournament poker have definitely heard of him.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the Card Player magazine, I mean, he's got like
Yeah.
13 final tables.
If you go to Hendon Mob and check it out, how do you pronounce his first name again?
Well, I don't know. We always call him Gil.
We always call him Gil.
Yeah,
Paramjit Gil?
I guess so.
Yeah, check it out. Or you can do go to Hendon Mob, look at Gil, his last name, and he's got a ton of tourney cash.
I was looking at the Card Player, but it's already for this season, this new year.
Yeah, last year I think they said he was what they call the amateur tournament scene, which is what, $500 and less.
Well, he's like the
always
king of
yeah.
that. That's good. I want to go to one, actually.
We had a post here by Sickfish71. It says, do you guys know of any books on low-level, no-limit tournaments? Because usually they tend to be crapshoots, and I don't know how to play them. $60 bet here by Emir. Flop came out ace 580 bet with bottom pair, and he took it down. Do you guys know of any good books on low to mid buy-in tourneys? Majority of the tourneys in my area are 15-minute blind structures with no caps on the blinds. Really turns into a crapshoot. Very difficult to be patient and look for good spots. I mean, are there really any books? Because it is a crapshoot.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, you could read a book on it, but they're probably much going to say the same thing as I will say. In the end, play good poker in the beginning of the tournaments. You know,
Yeah.
try to play a lot of hands, pick up some chips, and try to put yourself in a position where you can get lucky.
Right.
Because the end of those tournaments, they are a crapshoot, and you've got to get lucky. All you can do, though, is put yourself in a position where you can get lucky. Don't eliminate yourself.
Email here from Ray's here from Seat 9 with Ace Jack, and Amir's called him with the big lick hand. See if Jonathan's going to continue to lead here.
90.
He's going to bet 90. Is Amir going to make a move here?
Amir he just can't resist him. He cannot.
He loves to make moves.
Oh, he
doesn't
loves to now, doesn't he? Loves to gamble up, and look at him. He's counting out his chips, and he raises it up.
Yep, he's going to raise it up here. He's going to make it 400 more.
And Jonathan lays it down, and Amir takes it down. Nice move.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice move when it works, Dave, right?
Yeah, you know what's funny? Card Player amateur rankings, they have Gil ranked top 50. What the heck is an amateur? What, does that make him any worse than like Phil Hellmuth or something? Or because he plays exactly, it's all money, isn't it?
Right.
Some guy's playing in a $1,000 tournament and he only plays in the $500 tournament. Although Gil actually does play in some, he'll play as high as say 1,000 or 1,500, and he'll try to win satellites into the bigger tournaments. He just won't drop 10K to play in a big one.
Pocket jacks here for Gil on the button in seat 3.
He's gonna raise it up here.
Yep.
70.
Amir's got King 5 suited, and he's not gonna call. And he takes it down.
Email here from Matt in Denver. Says, fellas, you seem to be pretty familiar with all the players at tonight's table. And I'm just wondering if you know if they are all exclusive Hold'em players or if they mix it up in other games. How about you two?
Well, let's see. At this table here, I know Gil in seat 3 will play any game.
Right.
He'll play mixed games all the
Yeah.
time.
Ali, he'll play Limit Hold'em.
Ali plays Limit Hold'em
Yeah.
a lot. He'll play a lot of Limit Hold'em. And he
Everyone
will
else-
play mixed games also. He'll play. You'll
Yeah.
see him in the 61-20 mixed game as well.
Everyone else is pretty much exclusive no-limit cash games. I'm actually not sure about Kenny Wayne, but as you often will see these days, you
Yeah.
know, it's kind of like the no-limit Hold'em players, and then
Yeah.
kinda, everyone else, they don't really tend to gravitate towards other
Now
games.
Mo has gotten to play no limit cash games, but he actually used to play pot limit Omaha high only,
Yeah.
and then he played a lot of limit hold'em as well, and now he's obviously gotten to no limit cash games.
Jonathan raised there with Ace King. Nobody saw the flop.
Now as for Bart and I, we pretty much play anything between limit hold'em, mixed games, Omaha, stud high low, stud, Padoogie, deuce to 7. Throw the game at me, invite me to a table, I'll play. I'm all for it.
Email here from Chris C. Daniel Negreanu's latest blog talks about a guy who knocked out Cheryl Hines out of the tourney when he wanted to talk to her more. Laugh out loud.
That's classic. I love it. I got to check out. Hey, do me a favor. What was this? DKE mail. Send me send me a link so I can go look at his blog.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Can I get away with walking around with a shirt outside on the floor?
You probably can't.
Yeah. Three-way action here. I probably can or can't.
I don't know if you can. Everybody's missed this flop, by the way. It's 7-7-5.
George is in the hand. We can't see what he has in seat 5. He's on the button.
I mean, it's not like a rude shirt. It's just
No.
honest.
I think there are enough people in this casino that know me that
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think 10 high is going to win this hand, isn't it?
George has got ace high. He's being difficult. He's not showing his cards.
They don't have to put it?
Maybe the,
Or then why?
yeah, I was wondering actually. The voodoo priest told him not to show. He takes it down with ace high, I guess. I guess we like to be honest here. It's funny. Our Friday night game usually rocks. I mean, like I said before, I look forward to it all week. The game is action filled. The money's flying on the table. This game's real slow tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny how it changed. Though sometimes an hour and a half into the show, something will change and the game just kind of turns upside down.
Well, we've been playing short most of the time. No one's at the table.
But sometimes short is great. I mean, if it's Corporation Mike and a couple other players short, the game is action.
Jonathan's going to bring this one in for a raise. He's got ace jack of diamonds.
Ooh, and kings for Barry Woods.
Yep. Barry's got kings on the button in seat 6. $70 pre-flop. George is going to call in seat 5. He's got, looks like, ace-queen offsuit here. So George makes the call with ace-queen. And let's see what Barry's going to do with kings. He's got re-raise and chips here.
170.
And he's going to re-raise it up 100 more, Dave, so kind of the mini re-raise. So and look at this, seat 9 quickly folds the hand. And George makes the call, and George, look at this flop, queen 4-8, he's got top pair in the nut club draw.
Uh-oh.
And Barry's got the king of clubs. Barry bets 100. We could see real fireworks here, folks.
We should right now.
And
Money
George
should
is
go
going to
right now.
raise. He's going to raise it up to 400. And Barry calls. We've got about a $1,000 pot here.
Got a red card here.
Oh, turns a club, and George has got the nuts.
Oh, man. I tell you, George's gotten so lucky against Barry tonight.
And
He had-
George moves all in right on the turn. He moves all in. He's moved all in, and he pretty much almost has Barry covered.
I love the bet. No, he has Jared covered, actually.
This is
I love the
unbelievable.
bet.
First nut against second nut. George has moved all in here in seat 5.
I love the bet, but I'm going to throw this at you, okay? Because you know George as well as I do. I love this bet. It's a great bet. It's an over bet, huge over bet. He makes it look like he's scared of something, like he doesn't want another club to come out. But this is the question to you. Would George do this on a bluff? Is there any chance that George could be bluffing this?
Let's call it an $8,000 bet. That means that the pot is about $9,000, $8,000 to call.
Barry has to lay this hand down. I mean, you can start piecing and go, why? Yeah, a lot of things are going, wait, why would he bet so much? Doesn't he want to call if he has the ace of clubs? What is he scared of if he has the ace of clubs? That's what's going through Barry's mind here.
Right.
But there's sometimes you just got to look at it and go, wait a second, George wants me to think that. It's the reverse. He wants me to think that. That's why I overbet. And I like the bet by George.
Barry just asked Donna to see if he wants you to tell him what he has. Well, we talked about it on actually the circuit today. Sometimes fast playing is a different way of deceiving than slow playing.
Definitely. When
Yeah.
you think about it, if you had the kings here, Bart, you're sitting here going, why, if the guy has an ace of clubs, why is he betting so much? Doesn't he want me to call?
He's almost maybe playing it like a set.
Exactly.
Yep. A set where he thinks that maybe he can push a high club out like a king.
It just doesn't make any sense, though.
Let's see if we can hear Barry think this one through.
And I got to tell you, come on, Barry, lay this down. He's going to lay this
He's
down.
going to show it. Wow.
I mean, he pulls a Tuckman. He shows the cards.
Wow, what
Great
a
laydown.
fold by
Great
Barry
laydown.
Woods. Unbelievable.
Great laydown by Barry Woods there. And look, the river would have been a 6 of clubs. It wouldn't have changed anything.
No.
But 5 clubs on the board.
Well, again, I got to give credit to Barry Woods for really changing his game around to this type of table. There's just no way he's going to get rid of that hand against Mike.
No,
If Mike
no.
wasn't, no, just no way.
But that's what Mike by Mike playing the way he plays.
That's a great laydown, Barry. You'll be proud of yourself for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And George did not show. Great
When have we
laydown.
ever said? We used to say, "What a call by Barry Woods! What a laydown
Yeah.
by Barry Woods!"
He's made 2 good laydowns tonight
yeah,
now.
yep.
And,
What a laydown!
Got to hand it to him for that. And I got to tell you, George. I mean, Barry has just been George's bitch all night.
Well, I mean, some people are going to say, you know, if George had manipulated that hand, he could have extracted $3,000 or $4,000 out of Barry.
It's another way to play it. It definitely
Yeah.
is. The only thing I'll say to George here, and I want to say it. Well, actually, I was going to raise him. He's going to take him.
Yeah.
George had better. There's a school of thought out there where you overbet your bluffs and you overbet your made hands.
Right.
And that way you get paid off a lot. And it's oftentimes people don't want to commit betting a lot. You can really get people off big hands, like in that case, 2 kings with a king of clubs.
Right.
But George had better be willing to put all his chips in there on a bluff. Otherwise, every time he does that, we know he has the nuts.
Wow, Barry's got aces now.
And luckily for Barry, he didn't come back on the flop because he could have.
Right.
I mean, if I've got kings there, there's a good chance I re-raise him right there and then.
Oh, and Barry's now. I think this is a definite mistake. Barry has limped in with aces here in this table. I mean, I think this is an automatic raise. He's in middle position.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a big mistake, but let's see if he can get away from it if something unfavorable comes. King 5-4 here. Well, it doesn't look like he's in too much trouble.
No, he's not. Well, let's see if seat 8, though, Kenny Wynn gets himself in trouble. Now, this will be interesting here. Kenny Wynn normally does not like King 10, and he can normally get away from it pretty easily.
He's on the button. He just limped in.
But this is the question. Is Kenny going to think maybe Barry is tilting?
Well, Barry bet 100 and Kenny called on the button. Here we go to the turn. Turn's a 6.
Barry's got the ace of hearts. He is in great shape here.
Barry's going to bet 200 now. And really, it just keeps getting worse and worse for Kenny in his hand.
Yeah, the only
Yeah.
question is, though, is sometimes, if you're playing against a player who just lost a big hand like that,
Right.
you tend to think maybe they're steaming, and maybe my king is good. Maybe they
Well,
have nothing.
hey, even more of a reason why Barry should have raised this one up with aces, right?
Exactly.
Pre-flop. I don't understand why he limped in with his hand. I mean, great laydown last hand, but I think this one's a little bit misplayed. Now, it's not going to cost him anything. He's probably going to win the hand.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny's got to catch it. Oh, there you go.
And you never know. I mean, you might not even have gotten a call. I can see that Allen had pocket 8, so Allen probably would have called. I don't know if he would have proceeded after the flop, though. With
Allen
one
had
over.
pocket 8s, and he didn't call the flop bet?
No, he didn't.
Wow, I guess Kenny called.
Once Kenny called, Allen got rid of it. Yeah.
The river would have been a 9 of clubs. Wouldn't have
Yeah.
changed anything, and Barry would have won the hand.
Email here from Jeff Klein. Judgment night. 4 male friends witness a brutal murder after making a wrong turn off the highway, and then were terrorized by culprits.
Wow, there you go.
Oh, terrorized by the culprit.
U.S. box office, $11 million.
$11 million. Stellar.
That'd be kind of funny. Bart makes the wrong turn. And the worst thing about it too, do you have cash on you too or no?
I had like $1,000 bike chip
Okay.
on me. Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, okay, so nothing.
Oh God, it was really, really bleak out there. Email here from Steve and Donna Blazik says that the Harrington on Hold'em books can tell you how to play those low limit
There you
tournament
go.
books.
I mean, I think there's a Sklansky on tournaments as well, isn't that book?
Well, that's more of tournament poker theory.
Okay,
and that's
well,
a good one.
You take that book into it.
Yeah, advanced poker or advanced tournament poker.
Mo with the best hand here, right? No, actually, sorry. Gil's now turned the best hand. He's got aces.
Yeah, got checked on the flop, and Mo is bet 30 here, and Gil is not even going to get involved. But look at Allen; he's going to make the call. Allen's got a gut shot to the 9, and the river's a 10. That's no good. See, again, Allen kind of the leak in the game. He's calling the turn bet, Dave,
Yeah.
with a 10.
And you see Gil. I mean, some people go, wait a second, no, Gil's
Yeah.
the best hand. You're in there with ace deuce of hearts.
Right.
You're not looking for an ace on the turn in a board like that.
Email here from Mauricio. Have you guys seen the Texas Hold'em table game where you play against the house? I think it's called All In Poker. It's like a Vegas table game.
Oh yeah, it's called World Poker Tour
World
All in Poker.
Is that the Bellagio?
Is at the Bellagio?
Yeah. Have you played it?
I played it.
Kicked
Yeah.
around?
It was
Yeah.
funny. I was at the during the World Series, and we were hanging at the Bellagio, and I was playing the live game. And we'd go to just to blow some steam. We get a couple of drinks and play
Right.
that. throw down a couple $100 and see what happens.
Pocket jacks here for seat number 9. That's Jonathan. And he's going to raise.
100.
He's going to make it 100. And, well, George Georgian's got 8, 9 of diamonds. Is he going to take this little suited connector heads up in seat 5? He's going to make the call. So $200 pot here. Here we go. King 4-3. This is probably going to go check, bet, fold.
Yeah, pretty bad flop for George there.
Wow, it goes check, check, Dave. Turns an ace. I always suspect when somebody raises pre-flop and wouldn't bet on a flop like that, you know?
Well, it either means they're a little weak and they're scared.
Well, now George is going to come out and bet 200.
Why not?
And, Jonathan backed himself into a hole. You got 2 overcards out there now, and he folds.
Yeah, you
Wow.
got position, the player checks to you. Why not bet that? It's not like the ace was on a flop. The king was there.
Yeah.
You can't immediately put the player on a king. And George earns himself a pot. Nice play.
Right.
I mean, I think George had every intention of throwing that hand away. The guy kind of said, here, you take it. I don't want it. Okay, I have this theoretical question on 2+2. Go down to that. I want to read that. Because it's kind of funny.
Oh, you're going to read this? I wasn't even going to bring it up, but you can read it.
Theoretical question for Bart, Tuck, and staff. Let's say in the middle of a big decision, a girl gets up and rips off her top and flashes the camera. Given the 5-minute delay, will we cut it out of the feed somehow or let it go? And Isaac is the director, and he is, he has last word here. He said, "Hell no."
Well, you
So
missed out on the critical part of.
Down at the ball to your left, to your right, the shooting.
That it's a 5-minute delay. Not a
Well, he
5
said 5
second
seconds.
delay.
I said 5 minutes, right?
Oh, okay. Ace-8 deuce here.
Right.
Turns a deuce.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, if a woman comes off and flashes everybody, hey, all the power to her.
Gil bets here, and Allen calls with an 8. I think Gil checked the flop, and he's going to bet for value here on the river, and he's going to get a call. He put a little $50 bet there on the river and got a call.
Love it.
Wait,
Well, I
the
think
third
he figured,
mark up there.
I think he figured at worst it's a chop pot, and at best I'm going to get paid off, right? Now the interesting question is, what if somehow some scary sort of like guy flashes? I think we definitely should cut that
Yeah,
out.
we're going to cut that out.
Yeah.
Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions.
Button moves over to seat 3. That's Gil.
Yep. Jonathan's got an 8-10 of diamonds there.
3 players.
So we're going to see 3-way action here, limped around. Flop comes out ace-7 deuce here with a couple of hearts. Jonathan's going to bet 40 here. He's got nothing. He's going to bet out here with 10 high. And Kenny, is he going to get involved? No, he's not going to get involved with the 7 there. Jonathan's going to take it down.
7 deuce.
There you go.
What did you have on that hand when a 6-7 king flop and he made it 60, you made it 160?
I got a
Button moves over there to seat 5.
I had a king too.
Queen. I got queen kicker.
Oh, I had king jack. I laid it.
I got a queen kicker.
I had king jack.
Yeah, queen
I give you a better hand. King queen. I had
King queen, yeah.
King
Queen.
jack. I was.
I thought that he don't have a king ace. He only raised this.
Yeah. I had king jack. Good layup.
Yeah.
And it's going to get folded around here. And once again, we've got 3 people gone from the table.
Nobody raised before the flop, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
when, nobody.
Moves over here to seat 8. Wow. All I can say is wow. Kenny Wynn's got the button here. Gil's got an ace-6 suited. He's going to bring it in for a little raise here in seat 3.
70.
He's going to make it 70 to go. And George is going to call with ace-deuce suited. Ace-deuce of spades in seat 5. And Allen's in there with 7-9 of spades. We're going to see three-way action here. We can see that one of the aces is already dead. And the flop comes Jack, 4-5. Allen and George both have spade draws. George has got a gut shot wheel draw and a spade draw. George does not bet in position. Gets checked around the turns a Jack. It looks like maybe, let's see what's, and now George is going to bet. He's going to bet 200 here. George took the card on the flop, and Allen calls. And here we go to the river. The river's a queen, and it misses both players. George might think he needs to bet this to win, but it gets checked down, and George is going to win it with ace-5. There it is. Ace-deuce takes it down. Looks like we're almost about halfway through the show here. We're here live at the bike. We stream live cash games every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 Pacific time. Catch us on a looping rerun that starts an hour after the show. Runs all the way up until 5 p.m. Pacific time the next day. You can also check us out on Sunday afternoon, and we replay the entire week.
On the best hand, but I'm not betting it.
Button moves over here to Jonathan in seat 9.
I want to thank DK email there for sending us that link. Kind of cool.
4 players.
Four-way action here, limped around.
Does nobody have a card higher than 7? No, okay, Allen's got an ace.
Yeah, king, king, queen here.
Look at these hands.
And this game is just so passive. Turns a king.
Is Allen going to bet with an ace? I mean, it's such an automatic bet if I'm Allen here, isn't it?
King,
so
king,
obvious
king,
ace
queen
high is
on the
nuts
board.
here.
50.
Well, it gets checked around the button. Jonathan's going to bet 50.
I mean, it's so obvious Allen has the best hand here. And he folds. Jonathan earns himself $50,
Yep.
takes it down. I mean, some people look for the livest action game in the casino, right? Because they don't mind those big swings because they figure, hey, if I win, I can win a lot of money. I don't mind a game like this because I think you can really, pick your spots here and there, kind of raise in position a few times here and there, and win an easy $1,000.
Right, this is the type of lineup that you actually prefer over, like I say, a wild lineup.
Well,
right?
I mean, it depends. I mean, I don't mind having 1 or 2 action players, and it just changes my game.
Right,
Obviously, you have to adapt your style in accordance to the game you're playing in.
right.
I've been getting bad beats for 3 months straight. I said,
80.
enough. Let's go play
Poor
100
George,
bucks.
poor George.
Yep, more sob stories. Seat 9's going to raise it up to 80 here. He's got ace 10 of spades, and he's going to take it down.
4 cents. It worked. I guess. So far, so good. You should give me a bad beat before 10 o'clock.
Hey, Bart, Barry Greenstein busts Jesse Jones.
I would say Barry Greenstein did that for you, but he doesn't like you.
Who, Barry Greenstein?
I thought you guys didn't get along.
Hey, what are you smoking?
You guys are. I thought you guys didn't get
good
along. I
buddies.
thought there was some sort of like a tension there between you and him.
Why would there be tension?
I don't know. Thought there was like something over Mimi Tran thing. I don't know.
Oh, that's why, yeah. Actually, we played together for like 6 hours over the last 2 days.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Fours for seat 9, deuces for Allen.
And Barry raises up here with 9-6 suited. Fours are going to call in seat 9. Deuces are going to call in seat 1. So Barry's going to try to change it up, and Amir's going to call with king 7 off.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of hand. I mean,
Yeah.
calling a raise with deuces is fine. Calling a raise with 4s are fine.
Right.
Calling a raise with king 7 off. Now, he happens to have the best hand. But
Yeah.
what do you want to hit with king 7 off? It's one of those up and down hands. It's not suited.
Right.
I mean, to me, it's complete garbage in any game. I can't think of any game where I want king 7 off suited.
Barry's going to throw out a $140 bet here. And let's see if Amir's going to get involved with second pair. And he does. He makes the call.
Well, he's
Barry's
got
got a gut shot to the 8 here. Turns a 10. It's a third club.
Well, I mean, if Amir checks and Barry follows through the second bet, I mean, the one thing with Barry is
Check, check.
he'll often fire one bullet and he won't fire the second bullet.
River's a 10. And now Barry, if he gets checked to him, he's going to have to bet this.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And what can Amir beat out there?
Well, he can't beat anything except the bluff.
Right.
He can beat, like, say, well, he can't even beat King Queen anymore. I was
Yeah.
going to say he can beat King Queen.
This is where an advanced player can really read the board here and see what you can represent. Barry just gives up. But there's just, I mean, maybe he thought that Amir had an ace and he just couldn't get him off of it. But even with a weak ace there, it's just, I mean, would Amir check a flush to you twice? Probably not. Look at that board.
Yeah, you start thinking of a hand that Barry would raise with. I mean, you can't beat, say, I'm trying to think of a hand. You can't beat any picture cards. You can't beat any ace, obviously. You can't beat any pocket pair, really.
Right.
One thing with Barry, and he'll even admit this, he'll often fire that one bullet and stay aggressive, but oftentimes he won't fire that second bullet. And a lot of players are picking up on that habit, and you see Gil earlier with ace-queen just called one time to see if Barry would fire again.
Right.
And here, Amir calls once, and I don't think Amir would have called a second time. Although you never know with Amir, maybe Amir would have, maybe he would have raised it.
Buttons over there in Gil's hand. Folds.
And this is limped around. We get 3 ways. Pot is $60. Flop is ace, 10, 8, couple of spades. Allen has second pair.
Amir's got an ace.
Yeah, Amir's got top pair, though. And seat 5 also has a 10. Now,
Turns a 9, and now Allen's got a 10 with he's open-ended.
and so is George, though. George
Yeah.
got the top end of it here.
And both players call Amir's bet, and the river's a 3, and Amir makes aces up on the river.
Yeah.
Both players miss. But he's going to bet 200. And you know, Amir's oftentimes he's full of it, and George is trying to figure out could he make this call. He does not have the best hand.
Well, you start thinking about the hands. What kind of hands would Amir bet on the river? You know, would he obviously bet straight? Obviously, he'd probably bet aces up. Would he bet a small ace, though? I don't know if he would. He might just check it down and hope it gets checked down.
Well, that's because he
Obviously,
doesn't have a small ace now. He's got aces.
Right,
up.
exactly.
Yeah.
You start thinking of hands that he might have.
Right.
You know, he either has probably 2 pair or better or nothing. But they both play it down, and he shows the ace.
You know, it shows the 3.
Did he show 3? And then he shows the ace.
Yeah.
There you go. Kind of a cool new feature of Live at the Bike is if you've missed this whole week and you want to check it out, on Sunday, you can obviously watch tonight's show all the way through till tomorrow at 5 p.m. And then Sunday we have a replay of all the shows.
And of course, stick around a week from Sunday. You can check it out at the LA Poker Scene, a knockout Bart tournament on March 5th.
Another one?
Pocket aces here for Amir on the button.
Is it really going to go on this Sunday?
Yes.
You promise?
I believe it's a $10 buy-in.
$10 buy-in March 5th, Sunday, 3 p.m.
Amir's going to raise it up to 80 on the button. Jonathan's got pocket 4s. Does he have enough to make this
I
call?
think he does now. He doubled up. Remember,
Yeah.
he's got probably close to 1,1700.
Well, this is the type of hand you want to take against pocket aces.
Oh, definitely.
In seat number 1, Allen's got 8-9 offsuit. He's going to make a call.
Yeah, let's see if Amir can dodge the bullets. I mean, he's got the bullets. Let's see if he can dodge the hammers.
9-7-3. Allen's got top pairs. He's going to get himself in trouble here.
He could get himself in trouble here.
Is
Let's
this
see.
the type of hand you're looking to hit with a 9?
No.
It's a $250 pot, and Amir's going to bet 160. And Allen's probably going to call. Yep. Allen's going to need to spike an 8 or a 9 here. Here we go to the turn. Turns a jack. Well, now he's got straight possibilities.
Yeah, he needs a 10, a 9, or an 8 to win this pot.
You can see the percentages there. It's about an $850 pot right now. And Amir is going to throw another bet in here, it looks like.
And this is one of those things, that if you think Amir has overcards, overpair, like kings or aces, well, now it becomes a math problem. If I hit my hand, will I get paid off? Problem is, though, is if an 8 comes to one line into a straight, if a 10 comes to one line into a straight, the only card you're really going to get paid off is the 9 hit, probably.
It's a $320 bet here by Amir.
Into what, about a $320 pot? No, actually, more than that.
Pot's about 500.
So we're talking about 300 to 800.
Well, I'm wondering if the purpose of this bet is to possibly just check it down on the river.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta think you have odds to call this here.
He does make the call.
He's getting 2.5 to 1 plus implied odds if he hits his hand.
Pot's over 1,000. The river's a jack. It's a third diamond, and can you represent? See if Amir just checks it down. Yeah, he does. Now the interesting thing there, though, is that what I was going to say was, as the board gets scarier and scarier, I sometimes think that at Showdown on the river, I really don't think that you can win a gigantic pot with one pair in no limit.
Yeah.
Now, what I was going to say, though, is that when the river came jack at the end, That actually improves Amir's hand. Now, it was a diamond. Now, I don't necessarily know if you can ever bet the river and get called, because if Allen had 2 pair, you probably would have heard from him or he would have gotten counterfeit.
Yeah.
But I think that Amir's hands actually get stronger when the jack comes.
Yeah,
Now, it is a third diamond, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Amir definitely could have bet the river there for value, a couple, $300 or $400, and Allen might have called him with 2 pair, jacks and nines. But what you say is right there. Obviously, with just 1 pair of aces, the only time you're really going to win a big pot is if you get lucky against somebody with kings, queens, jacks, or something like that.
Right.
Or if somebody just tries to get silly. Basically, somebody else is a big draw. You have aces. All the money is in.
And you end up winning.
And
That's why I said, like,
they end up missing.
At a showdown at river when you're not all in, you're not going to win a big pot with 1 pair, I don't think.
Right. I mean, you'll often see somebody will be open-ended with a flush draw. You'll have aces. All the money goes in the flop.
He'll raise it up here with jacks. And Amir's hit middle set here.
Yeah, but the queen came out there, and that should save Gil. And Gil's going to come out and bet it right away.
Actually, you know what? It got checked, and Amir's going to bet.
Yeah. Well, Amir's betting with a set.
Gil checked, and Amir bet, and now Gil doesn't really have any information here. I mean, he's checked with jacks. There's 1 overcard. Can he necessarily just check fold here? He's not. He's going to make the call.
Let's see if Gil did this with Barry before. He called 1 time. Let's see if he calls again, though.
10 doesn't really change all that much, does it?
No,
he's
it's
gonna
1
check.
overcard.
Now, this is, again, a perfect spot to bet again. Some people, for some reason, check this on the turn. You've got to build a pot up so you can put a nice value bet on the river, don't you think?
And Gil calls quickly, and he needs a jack and only a jack.
River's a deuce. And again, by Amir putting in that $250 bet on the turn, the pot is now $500 bigger, and he can put in a bigger bet on the river.
Right.
And he's going to throw in a $500 bet on the river. 400 here.
And people talk about aces as compared to 5s here. Look at this.
And look at this. Gil pays him off the whole way, and it's going to be a $1,400 pot there for Amir with the set. Lovely. And the only thing about for Gil there, I mean, he just check called, and it was just kind of a thing where you're in a tough spot.
Yeah. He didn't get much information.
I mean, I guess, maybe Amir might have been betting with 6-7 there. Is that didn't get there at the end? I mean,
well, you never know with Amir these days.
Yeah.
I mean, Amir is definitely capable of making a move.
But I mean, again, it's funny. I saw Mo check the quads from up front earlier on. And again, some people say, well, why don't I want to let my guy catch up? I understand you want to let your guy catch up, but I also want to build a pot. I mean, I don't necessarily want to not give the... I almost want to bet to price him in almost.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
You want to price... Like, if you pretty much have the nuts, you want to let him catch... Let's say you have a full house, you want to let him catch his flush or a straight.
Right.
But at the same time, you want to make the pot big enough where it's worth fighting for in the river.
Right.
It's,
you want to make it big enough so that if he's drawing dead but he makes it on the river, you can really extract a lot of money. Exactly. You throw in a $400 bet into a $600 pot, that's an additional $800 or $1,000 you can make on the river.
Yeah, exactly. If the pot is only $250, how much can you really bet on the river and get paid off?
Right. 7-4-4 here with a couple hearts. This one was limped around pre-flop. And Amir's got a flush draw with a jack-9 of hearts, and he's going to bet 40. George did not raise it up with ace-queen. In the cutoff, Dave, with ace-queen.
He doesn't like to raise the ace-queen.
Yeah.
That's his style. I mean, some people like to raise with only really big pairs.
Yeah.
They like to see a lot of flops for cheap. I mean, it's another way to play, I guess. For me, I mean, I personally like to raise up with those hands, especially in position. I just don't want to let a cheap ace in there. Somebody catches 2 pair on me, and I have no idea where I'm at.
Button moves over there to seat number 7.
I mean, some players also play. I mean, you talk about controlling pot size sometimes, and there are times to control pots size.
Right.
But some players really always play in fear of playing a big pot without the nuts. You can't be scared of that, You got to be prepared. If you have ace-king, the flop comes out ace-7 deuce. You got to be prepared that this flop, all your money might go in. You never know.
Email here from Chris in Wisconsin. Did you guys get a chance to go to the Bodog party the other night? They had a Bodog party here in L.A., Evelyn?
Apparently they did.
Oh, man. I wasn't invited? Limped around. Oh, maybe he's talking about that. Yeah, maybe they're talking about the Card Player Awards. I'm sure there were post-parties.
Oh, there was. That Men the Master one. Men the Master won Card Player of the Year.
King 3-5 here. Amir's got a flush draw. He's going to bet into it. He's going to bet 40. You can see Amir, again, sometimes it kind of drives me nuts, or I don't really understand a lot of the hands that he plays, pre-flop.
I mean, I guess in a table like this, you can afford to play a lot more hands because it's a little more passive.
Well, Ali makes the call, and now Amir hits a pair, and he's going to come out and bet.
Yeah. Nice bet.
Yeah. You know, a player like Ali, and I saw Ali play in the Whale game before, Dave. He just plays his cards, and you can really play any two cards against him in position. You know,
It's funny, he had ace-3 offsuit.
right,
And he was kind of like upset because I guess the cards didn't come his way.
right.
I'm not sure what you're looking for with ace-3 offsuit, short of like, deuce 4-5. And I see a note here from William Frick talking about the card player cruise. Hey, maybe we can get on that card player cruise. That'd be cool. We should do live on the bike on the cruise. Live on the cruise.
Yeah, live on the cruise.
That'd be great. That'd be cool. I'm gonna go work on that.
Raise. 240 more.
Gets limped around, and Gil's going to raise it to 240 out of the blind. He's going to take it down.
Take it down, Gil. I mean, it's one thing, it's interesting. You see Gil there raising with king, queen offsuit, and it's a tough hand to play out of position. But if you're only raising with your big pocket pairs, it's really easy to start putting you on a hand when you raise.
Right.
That's all the work you do? You're kidding.
One of the things I always say about Hollywood Russ loves to limp in with aces and kings, loves to. And I let him. I have no problem with it. If I'm in the big blind against him and I've got a hand, I almost don't want to raise it. I almost want to hope that he has aces, and if I hit my 2 pair, I know I'm going to get paid.
Button moves over there to seat 9. Looks like Barry Greenstein is now heads up, Dave, against Blair Rodman for the Invitational.
Wow, pretty quick tournament then.
Yeah, it started at like 6.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
only 2.5 hours into it. They're going to really have to squeeze every single hand out of
Well, we
there.
were actually wondering if they were going to slow it down. I mean, the levels were half an hour. We wondered if they were going to slow it down so they could get a whole episode out of it.
Yeah, well, Barry's got a 2-1 ship against John Blair, so you've got to imagine that Barry's going to win this.
Limped around here.
Is Tracy sleeping on Jonathan's back? Oh, no, she's not. Okay, I thought she actually was sleeping there.
Looks like there's 6-way action here. 6-4 deuce, all diamonds.
Well, seat 3, Gil has flopped a straight, but he does not have a diamond in his hand.
Gets checked around, and look at this. The turn is a queen and diamond.
And now his hand is complete garbage.
Mo's going to bet 40 here. You wonder if Gil was trying to check raise the flop there, or what he was doing.
I think he just gave up on it. I think he didn't care about it.
Mo pays 40, and Barry raises to 140. Yeah, Mo's got the second nut, and Barry's representing something he doesn't have. He only has the 8 of diamonds, and Mo calls.
Well, this is the perfect time to induce a bluff, you know what I mean? There's no point in betting it.
River's a queen. Mo checks. Mo's going to throw a little defensive $200 bet here out. And the funny thing, again, if Barry were to raise there, say, make it look like a value raise up to 8 or 900, you wonder if Mo would call.
Yeah, well, it's a strong move. It's one thing to raise a guy once, take a shot at it.
Yeah.
You wonder if Barry's got it in him to raise the same player twice without the nuts.
Yep.
It's tough. And even if he had the ace of diamonds there, the board pairs in the river,
right.
Makes it difficult as well. And I don't mind the way Gil played that hand there. He flops the straight, and oftentimes people will kind of like, they go, well, I got to protect this hand, so they put like $200 into a $50 pot. You got to realize that's not the flop you're really looking for. Yes, you flopped the straight, but there's 3 diamonds out there. You have no diamond in your hands. Don't worry about it. Throw it away.
Raise, make it 100.
Mo's going to raise it up here to 100. Pocket 3s.
3s have been good for him today. He's flopped quads with 3s already. Takes it down.
Button moves over here to C3. Gil.
I'm getting word that Bart lives in a cave.
C2 is
Raise, make it 100.
Raise it up
Mo's
by
gonna
Mo
raise
again.
it up.
Gil's not going to call, and Jonathan's not going to call. Jonathan had pocket 3s there, but decided not to get involved with Mo.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a matter of picking your opponents. Do you really want to get involved with Mo out of position with a pocket pair? Unless you hit your set, you know, you don't have no idea where you're at.
Button's going to move over there to C5. Have we had a full table yet tonight?
No, a lot of times that happens in cash games. We
No,
talk
I know,
about that.
I know.
Rarely
It's
is it
usually
nine-handed.
eight-handed. I know.
8 or 7-handed.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now we're 7-handed again.
But I mean, it's just like, man. No, it is rare that, like, if you're playing, at a table, usually, maybe you get it 9-handed, 20% of the time, maybe? At the most?
Maybe, it's interesting. You've got to look at it that way.
Yeah. Gil's going to raise it up here to 110. He's got ace-5 of hearts.
Now, Barry's got ace-5 of spades. He'll probably throw some money in there.
He did. He
He's
make
gonna
the call. So we're heads up here. Now, Gil has position, I believe.
He does, you're right. Button is in seat 5. And they both miss.
Yeah, king 8-3.
Barry's on a free roll, by the way, because there's no heart out there, but Gil's, there you go, look at that. Barry folds before Gil even throws his money in the pot.
I can tell you, I was going to be interested to see how Gil was going to play. And he, I thought I heard him I overheard him saying that this was one of the first times he's played no limit cash games. And if so, this is why he might be playing it conservatively, trying to feel his way out. But I think he's playing it well so far. I mean, he played the jacks a little bit passively, but he was beat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's the only hand that he could probably look back on and go, man, I probably should have put a little money in, seen where I was at.
Right.
And when I got raised, I can throw it away.
Yeah.
I guess he figured maybe Amir was bluffing and he figured he'd let him bluff. But, Gil's a poker player. I mean, Gil's been playing this game for a long time. He can play all the games.
Limped around here. 4-way action. Queen 4-7. Gil limped in with the queen 10. He's got top pair. And look at this. He's checked top pair several times tonight. He checks it over to Barry. And Barry's going to bet 110 here. The board is queen 4-7, 2 hearts.
Ollie gets away from his 7. Kenny gets away from his 4.
And Gil is just going to check call. And again, you wonder if just Gil's trying to keep the pot as small as possible with, say, top pair, weak kicker. Look at this. Barry hits top pair now.
Well, once again, you talked about queen 10 last night. You're not a big fan of queen 10. And you kind of wonder, and what a bad beat there. I mean, obviously.
And how does that king change anything? And the only thing that would change you if Gil thought he had the best hand is if Barry was on the king high flush draw, right?
Yeah. I mean, you always say, though, queen 10, obviously, it has its limitations.
Yeah.
You just put yourself in a tough spot by not betting that.
Well, again, I said I liked Gil's play, and now he's going to get involved in this again. It's just that checking calling is not going to be the best way. He should have come out and bet. River's a heart.
Well, now Gil can beat nothing.
Well, now he's going to come out and try to represent hearts, though.
Yep.
He's going to bet 500, but Barry's going to call.
Well, this is the one limitation with Barry, with Gil.
Yeah.
Gil doesn't know the players in this game.
Yeah.
He's bluffing the wrong guy.
Yeah. And because Barry doesn't know Gil, he's not going to automatically give him credit for maybe if he laid that hand against George. If George comes out and bets the river 500 there after checking calling, Barry might lay the hand down, but Gil is new to the game.
Exactly.
And again, I mean, the only little thing I've seen about Gil is just that there's a couple times that he probably should have bet. And if he had bet the flop, he would have taken that down. Instead, he actually loses somewhat of a big pot.
Yeah, no, actually, that was a pretty big pot.
Yeah.
You were talking about an $1,800 pot.
Is it that much? I thought
it was 5,000 on the river.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least 1,600. Right?
And I mean, if you're Gil, you're new to the game, and then Barry turns over his hand. He's got king 10 in the
You wonder. Well, the thing you got to understand, though, Gil is used to playing a lot of weak players in these, like, small tournaments.
Right. Line straddle here by Gil. He might have been maybe going a little tilt on his last hand. Jack 6 and queen deuce here. Big blind in the straddle spot. Gil's got a deuce.
And why did Allen even complete? With Jack 6 offsuit.
He was actually, excuse me.
Allen was a straddle.
And Gil had limped in.
And Gil limped in with queen deuce.
Yep. Shot of espresso there for Gil.
I should have bet my hand on that one.
And I think he says I should have bet my hand there.
I had the feeling that you might have a king flush draw and hit a king.
Well, that's what I see. He said flush draw with a king, But
well, then why'd you call him? And if you thought he had a king with a flush draw, why would you bet into it?
And then why would you call him the turn and then bet the river?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I'm about to check crazy.
Well, and the other thing, though, is that wouldn't a person who's one off the button there on that flop probably bet a flush draw like 85% of the time on the flop?
Yeah. Well, he did. He bet it. Oh, you mean you think Gil would bet it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you'd assume so. You also assume that Gil would bet a queen. One of the reasons not to get involved with queen 10 is, you hit your queen, you really don't know where you're at. You could be still behind with queen jack, queen king.
Well, now Gil's got queen 4 of hearts, and now it is between the blinds, I believe. Well, Actually, no, Gil limped in with Queen 4 again. Check on the flop.
And Allen's got the best hands here with ace high.
Well,
Allen still's going to win this.
see if Gil's going to throw a bet out here now. No, ace is going to win. Again, I wonder if Gil is kind of like on a minor tilt right now.
Well, it almost seems like he's almost on the reverse, like a Phil Hellmuth type tilt, where he's kind of tightening up and passing. He's playing almost loose passive now. You know, so often players play differently when they're on tilt. Some players will kind of play more aggressive or play more hands but more aggressively. And then some players will almost play more hands and play it more passively.
You know, one of the funny things about what happened this afternoon, David, as we were leaving, Matisow came in to do the concluding segment, and I'm like, hey, Mike, and he kind of looked at me and just kind of shrugged me off.
He just brushed right by me. Didn't even say hi.
Which is funny because a lot of the high-profile poker players have been perfectly nice to us
for
the most part.
I mean, we're friendly with most.
Yeah,
I mean, actually, almost all of them.
Yeah, but he just didn't have the time of day for us. Yeah, exactly. Which I think is partly the reason why he wasn't in there with us before. Which is probably a good thing, I think. I think we got.
Well, it's funny, you know. I was actually while I was sitting down at the Invitational, I was talking to Carlos Mortensen. I was talking to a couple of the players at the table, and we were talking about how poker players used to get a bad rap as being like, you know, look at those scene of bad players, bad guys, you know.
Right.
As a whole, poker players are some of the most giving and generous people in the world. You know, I mean, really, very generous people, not greedy. We give money away, we give to charity. Really a great group of guys to hang out with. And I've seen that as I've kind of emerged myself into the poker world. And I've met people like Linda Johnson and people like Doyle Brunson and Daniel Negreanu. I mean, I've nothing but praise for all these guys because they're really, really good people. Mike the Mouth, whatever his name is, Mike Matisow, obviously he just kind of like, I thought he was going to like give me a body check. He walked by me.
Yeah. King, Queen, Deuce here with a couple clubs. Ace 10 in here with gut shot for seat number 7, Ali. Check again. Gil's in there with an ace set. It's actually ace 10, I believe.
And Ali just does not like to bet, huh?
Yeah.
And he takes it down.
With ace 10.
Yeah, ace 10. 10 is going to play, folks.
Turns a 6, rivers a king.
Finally, you broke the...
Ali obviously had ace 10, not ace 9, but it makes no difference. The 9 would have played also. Amazing. Heads up there with ace 10. You've got a gut shot with an overcard. Why not bet it?
Yeah.
Take it down.
You know, the funny thing, when he said he came in there, was like, boy, a lot of sweaty guys in here. Huh? This is Matisow when he came into the room.
Was that what he said?
Yeah. Stuffy room. A lot of sweaty guys in here. And I'm like, hey, Mike. You see that look? Lord.
You're not big enough for him, okay?
Yeah, I guess not. Button moves over here to... Actually, I had to actually tried to talk to him in the past, too, and he's kind of done the same thing. Yeah.
I thought one of the funniest things in the world was in what was it? The 2004 World Series poker when he was crying on the side. I thought that was hysterical.
Limped around here. Jack 10-5. We got 8-9 of spades over here for Ali, and he's not going to bet the open-ended straight draw here.
He's in middle position. He's not going to bet it. He's not there. And now Jonathan's got 2 pair.
Yeah, he's got 2 pair in seat 9.
And Ali's going to have no chance of getting there.
Now Gil is going to come out and bet with Jack. He checked top pair, and now he's going to bet it. And now another player has the... Now, this is a little different situation with Jack 6. But now Jonathan has the best hand with 4-5. Ali calls in between. Perfect time for Jonathan to raise here. Even if he didn't have a hand like this, you got a bet and a call like we talked about in between on the turn.
Clear raise, and he makes it 200.
140.
Oh, he makes it 140. They go 40 from Gil.
Yeah.
40 from...
yeah. I mean, you
40
might,
from Ali, and he raised
let's say
140.
you were in there on the flop of 6-7 and got checked around the flop and the turn came 4. Now you got a bet and Ali calls. Wouldn't you make the same play with 6-7 here?
Definitely. I don't think either player can call this now.
I think Ali has made the call, though.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to have to catch.
Here we go to the river. Oh, the river's a 9, and that gives Ali a pair, but it's no help. He checks. And, wow, Jonathan checked right behind him.
Thinking maybe Ali had king queen, but if he had king queen, wouldn't he bet the flop? You never know.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Ali would have gotten a call. I don't think Ali would have called the guy in the river.
No, I agree with you, but this game is very very, very passive. Now Ronnie, our card statistician, does a great job here. He plays a lot of tournaments as well, and he plays a lot of the small tournaments like Gil does, and knows Gil real well. And he actually says that Gil is very selectively bullish. You know what I mean? Like he'll kind of pick out his targets and bully them all night. Now, if he has respect for you and he thinks that you might play back at him, well, then he might just kind of lay off.
Right.
But that's one of the reasons why he's very successful in tournaments. He sits down, he gets to know who, he picks his targets out, and then he picks on them all night long.
Gil's got a mini raise here on the button at 40 with 7-3 offsuit. Barry's got an ace-jack here. He's going to make the call. Allen's in there with ace-6 offsuit.
Gil's really opened up his game here, huh?
Jonathan is not in the hand. Gil's got 7-3 offsuit. The flop comes ace-4-10 here.
Well, is Gil going to open up his game and throw a bet that and continue his raise? 'Cause he raised pre-flop, right?
Yeah, he's going to bet 110. Let's see how Barry's going to play it here. He's going to call, and that's probably going to bring Allen in. Well, Allen would have called anyways, of course. And now the pot's like $450 here.
And you can look at the percentages there.
Turns a queen.
These players are really in bad shape, folks. I think Gil is actually drawing dead now. He is, and Allen is at 7% chance of winning the pot. He needs a 6 and only a 6 to win this hand.
Barry's picked up a straight draw. He checks, Allen checks, and Gil's going to check. He's done with it. And the river here is the 6, and Allen makes aces up.
Oh, man.
Now, Barry comes out and bets. Is Allen going to raise a little bit here? He's going to bet 300. No, Allen's just going to make the call there, Dave.
Well, now this is the question. Now, can you raise for ace-6? I mean, it's really a pretty weak ace.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily. I mean, it is 2 pair, but you're right. I mean, you never know. Barry could have maybe gone first. Yeah, Barry's not pleased about that.
I mean, let's look at it. Barry had ace-jack. Very easy for Barry to have ace-queen there and check to the raiser again, hoping to check raise. Now he gets
or king-jack, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of hands.
never know. I mean,
a lot of hands that Barry could have had there.
Yeah.
I need a 6 on the turn and a 5.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, Barry, the way that he's been playing, if he bets there and Allen raises, I wouldn't think he's going to call nowadays with ace-jack,
Yeah,
right?
he probably wouldn't.
I wouldn't think so.
I mean, you shouldn't with top and bottom pair like that. It's pretty much just a call. Now, if everybody checked to you, you're certainly going to put a nice pot-size bet in. But Allen kind of Barry kind of played the hand a little bit passive.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to play it like that heads up against one player, but when you have another player behind you, you've got to keep that person in mind. I want to thank SP Surfing there, Michael, for the new chip count. It looks like Barry Greenstein has almost got Blair Rodman, little over 2.2 million to 900,000. Wow.
George, again, won't show his cards. Looked like he had pocket jacks.
We're going to let George know that if he's not going to show his cards, he's not going to be allowed in the game anymore.
That's right, because it's not like he's a lot of action on the table.
No.
We've got a board of 20 people behind him.
That too, same thing.
I mean, once in a while as a joke, it's okay. But
Right.
Bring me the same one with the Persian rice.
Ace King of Diamonds here for Gil. He's just going to limp in. George has got Ace Queen. He limps in.
Ace Queen, and he limps in late position again in a cutoff seat. And that's how he likes to play that hand. He likes to play it slow. He doesn't want to lose a lot of money with Ace Queen.
Right.
And that's just one way to play it. Now, Gil, wow, with Ace King.
He
and
limped in.
This is a limped around pot, folks.
Yeah. 9-6-4, a couple hearts. And look at Kenny Wynn. He's got a flush draw here.
The one
Queen
thing
7.
I don't understand, though, is if Gil is going to raise with 7-3 offsuit, why not raise with Ace-King suited?
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, he's one off the button, too. And now George is going to bet. It got checked to him. He's going to bet.
And you know Kenny's going to call at least, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Or is Kenny going to raise this? But this is a limped around pot. I mean, these players could have anything.
look at the hands here. Ace King suited, Ace Queen.
King Jack. I mean, King Jack in the big blind, that's not necessarily a raising
No,
hand.
but I mean, there hasn't been that much raising pre-flop, and you bring up a good point there. I mean, wow, Kenny's just going to fold. He just had a dry flush draw with an overcard.
And Gil folds, too.
Yeah.
Now, I will hand it to Gil. I mean, at least he limps in with the Ace King, and when he doesn't catch anything that looks good for his hand, he just throws it away. He doesn't get involved.
Well, you know, you got to think that
Nice
the problem
play by
also,
George.
too,
Take
with
down.
limping in with Ace King and catching an ace or a king in a limped pot is that if you hit your ace or your king, you still can't take that much heat, just like if you have a limp pot with aces or kings and it's an overpair on the board,
Well,
right?
you know, we always
I mean,
say
you're going to go broke to king 3 if the flop becomes king 3-5?
that's the whole point. I mean,
Yeah.
King 3 Ace, you mean.
No, king 3-5. You've got ace king and the guy got king 3 in the board.
You're 100% right. I mean,
Yeah.
you never. Mama always said, don't go broke in a limped round pot. When you're limping in with Ace King or Ace Queen or something like that, you're basically saying, I want to play a small pot with this. I don't want to play a big pot with this, which is okay. It's just one way to play it. It's not my school of thought. It's not the way I want to play it, though.
Now, George here, he's raised to 150. Let me ask you a question here. He had pocket queens here. he raised to 140 before with jacks. Now he raised to 150 with queens. There hasn't been a lot of pre-flop raising, and usually the standard raise is 70 to 80. Is he overdoing the raises now? Is that a possibility?
I don't know if he's overdoing it. I mean, that's his number. That's the one he wants to pick. And that's
No, but I mean, you have to adjust to the particular game, right?
of course you should
Yeah.
if you want a call or two.
I mean,
he might be worried.
if he's happy to just take down the blind, I mean, if he's going to sit there and only raise pre-flop with pocket pair above tens, and he just wants to take down the blinds, then that's what he's getting. But I mean, is that really his goal though, with those hands?
Again, yeah. I mean, I guess obviously, I guess it is.
Okay.
Or maybe he thinks Allen will call.
Maybe, okay.
Allen will call with an ace 10 anyway.
I mean, I really don't have a big problem with.
I mean, I don't think Ollie, I don't think Jonathan, I don't think Kenny Wynn are going to be
Right.
calling $150 raises with hands that are
Right.
dominated. But Allen might call that with Queen Jack.
But I mean, he's pretty much the only, and Amir. I mean, we've seen Amir really mix. He'll make that call, but that's it. It's Amir, and it's Allen.
Yeah.
And I don't really have a big problem with any parts of George's game. It's just, those are things to throw out. I just.
Well, I mean, obviously we're in here. We're doing the commentary for the show. We're going to
Right.
put our 2 cents in.
Right.
Just a couple of thoughts. Obviously, by raising it up to 150 in a game that's only 5 or 6 handed against players that are pretty passive, you're not going to get called very often. Hey, if you're okay with that, that's fine.
Look at this. Allen's got aces on the button, and he limped in
In
on
this
the
game.
button in this game. Oh, and he's just lucky here.
Yeah. Now Amir has made a pair. So you never know. Amir could make a move.
Amir's going to bet 50. I mean, how do you limp in with aces on the button in this game?
And Allen raises.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, you could never give Allen credit for a 5 here, could you?
Why not?
You know where am I
Oh, no, definitely not.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
yeah.
He would never raise that.
Right.
That quicker.
Right.
the 5 or not?
He probably limped in with aces.
And
What he shows.
And can you imagine if Mo or Amir had a 5 and it led out? Would Allen have lost his whole stack on that hand?
He might have. He might have. Barry Greenstein won.
Yep.
That's a good day for charity. It's always nice when it's an invitational and it's a free roll, and all the money is going to go to all the money goes to a charity.
Right. Looks like our segment on the circuit is up at their site.
Oh, pretty cool.
So
go to cardplayer.com, folks, and you can check it out. Or you can wait now until our show is over.
Yeah, we also
and then go check it out.
Well, of course, we want to thank the Card Sharks people for their generous donation of the That's Allen T-shirts.
Yeah, Card Sharks is pretty cool. You can go check them out at cardsharks.com
Limps
for
around
your
here.
poker apparel.
Queen 8-3. Now George has got pocket 9s this time. He did not raise pre-flop. Well, he's actually in the big blind. Okay, so he checked it. Now we got a $100 bet here by Jonathan. He's got a straight draw, and Mo has called. Look at the instincts by Mo. He makes the call here with 5-8. He has the best hand, and we're heads up. Turns to 7. Let's see if Jonathan here.
Well, he's picked up an opening the straight draw
He
now.
checks, and Mo checks right behind him. The river's a king. It's Mo and Jonathan in the hand with 10-9. And it's just going to get checked down here. Jonathan missed. The river was a king, and Mo is going to win here with an 8.
And Jonathan
Yeah.
kind of gave up. He bet one time and then just said, you know what?
Yeah.
I give up. Surprising George didn't fire out on a flop. I mean, it's 9s there. It's not really a bad flop for 9s, is it?
I'm just amazed that no one really has, been raising really pre-flop here. It's just
An extremely passive game. I mean,
Yeah.
a game like this, if you win 3,000 or 4,000, that's a big win in this game.
yeah.
Thank you for the emails, folks. I do appreciate them.
So you can check out that circuit piece on at cardplayer.com, playing in iTunes. It's a podcast.
Yeah,
Just
please do.
download it. And I'll get to you some of the details about how long that is and stuff.
Now, do they edit it or do they take the whole entire thing? We did.
I think they're going to edit it a little bit because we were in there for a while.
Yeah, we were.
Unless they think everything was good there. Wow, Queen Jack 10. We got
Uh-oh,
a
look
flop
at this.
straight here.
Flop straight and 2 pair from Mo.
Well, George is going to come out. It's George. He bets 140 on a flop straight. Mo's got top and bottom, Queen 10.
I love the bet by
The flop
George.
is Queen Jack 10. And Mo's going to make the call. Again, Mo's got Queen 10 here. Here we go to the turn. The turn's a 6. George has still got the straight. And he's going to come out and bet again.
And Allen is out of the hand and Barry's out of the hand. Mo is in there with Queen 10. There we go.
A bet here of 700 and a call by Mo again. And the river is an 8, and George is going to bet again.
1,000.
He
Love
bets
the bet.
1,000. He has bet the whole way here. And I don't, Mo really quickly called on the turn. I mean, George has bet the entire way.
You wonder now, you know what, I'm a big fan of Mo's game, but you wonder, he's been playing in these crazy action games for the last 2 or 3 months.
Right.
Whereas he's really been playing at ABC. And this game, obviously, is completely different. He's got to adapt his style. And you wonder if it's not working for him tonight, because he's obviously been on the short end of a couple of big hands tonight.
Right.
And this was a hand where, I mean, you're calling George
He
2 times.
gets away from it there.
Calling the flop, I understand, okay? But then he calls the turn. Man, I mean, a lot of hands you can't beat.
Well, the other thing too is call me crazy there. But
Crazy.
even on the turn, George bet pretty hefty. And you figure, well, you know what? I got 4 outs here. It's a $600 bet. If I make my 4 outer, I might make 6,000 on the hand. No way. If the board pairs there, I think George might even check. And if he bets and you raise him, I think he folds. That's how tight he is.
Yeah,
There's not a lot of implied odds to go after George.
yeah, it's one of the reasons.
it's
I mean,
just-
it's one of the reasons George is a good player. I mean,
Yeah.
he does not really pay off his play,
Yeah.
his opponents very well.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is you don't know what George had though. Was George betting Queen Jack? Was he betting King
He
Queen?
bet 1,000 when that 4-liner came out on the river, and I
Oh,
don't
well,
know
that
if
was
that's
easy.
true.
But
Yeah.
he bet 700 on the turn though. What is he betting 700 with?
Mo raised it up there to 100 with Ace Jack, and Allen didn't even call a 7-9 of spades. So I guess he's eating. Might tighten up there a little bit.
I mean, I got to tell you, in a game like this is my strategy, at least my 2 cents, folks. If I'm in a game like this, I'm looking to win small pots. I'm looking to win 150 here. I'm looking to win 75 there. I'm looking to win the blinds here and there. And I have to be content with the fact that I'm not going to win I don't want to be in big pots
Right.
unless I have the nuts. Okay. Now, if I'm in a game with Corporation Mike and Jay and those kind of players, well, hey, it's a lot different. I can have less than the nuts and obviously push around. But most of these players, if they're putting chips in the pot, they've got a big, big hand.
Limped around here.
Raise 120.
Seat 6 is going to raise it up here. To 120. And that's Barry. He's got ace rag.
320.
3-way action here.
Ooh, trip jacks round.
Jack 4 Jack here. Allen's
What a
got the
surprise. Let's see what he
jacks.
does. Imagine he'd probably check in here. He checks it. Barry bets. Allen calls. And the pot is now, what, about $900? Wow. Heads up, folks. And the turn is a 5. That gives Barry 2 pair here. He's got jacks and 5s. But Allen's going to come out and bet it right out. And look at that. Barry quickly throws his hand away.
So he check called the flop and then bet the turn, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Allen slow plays the jacks and makes no money off that.
So cardplayer.com/audio/the circuit. And it actually says final table preview. Special guests David Tuckman and Bart Hansen from live from the bike.
Right.
Well, we'll email them. Hopefully they can get that changed.
Right.
Great guys in there. I mean, they were actually. I know you got stuck in traffic, but we were actually waiting for you for about 45 minutes, so we had a chance to just talk around it. And they were really excited about the fact that I was talking to them about real poker strategy. It didn't seem like they get a lot of that when they get. They said sometimes the pros don't even want to give it up, like it's a big secret or something like that.
Open up Pandora's box and let all their secrets out. Pocket 5s here for Amir. And he's got a pretty good flop for 5s. Oh, sorry, Gil, I apologize.
Yeah, ace 9 here for Kenny Wynn. He's going to come out and throw $30 out.
And Gil's going to call here
Gil's
with a
gonna
gut shot.
Gut shot. Maybe he thinks a 5 would come or a 3 would come.
Well, he's got to think of a 5 or a 3 come. He's probably good. I mean, Kenny is in there. And
actually, you know what? Gil has actually raised here a little bit,
really?
I think.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. Yes, you're right.
Looks like he made the minimum raise. He made it 60.
Kenny makes it 30, and wow.
Well, that's easy enough to get Kenny off that hand. But what I was going to say was that if you call there, you know, against Kenny Wynn, you might make the call there. I mean, that's one of those times where you might make a call knowing that you might be behind now. You've got somewhat of a mediocre draw, but unless he's got ace queen or ace king, he's going to check to you on the turn, and you can really put the pressure on. You just got to figure out how much you can extract to get him off of a hand like that, right?
Well, I mean, Kenny knows his players. He's not going to give Gil that much action. We saw a couple of weeks ago Kenny was in a hand versus Mike where
ragged flop.
Well, it was funny. Kenny bluffed, Mike re-bluffed, and then Kenny came over the top with a better bluff and won the hand.
Well, I don't necessarily. In that hand, it was a ragged board. Mike had raised up king queen offsuit. Kenny called with pocket fives, and the flop became like 7-deuce-3.
Right.
Mike bet, Kenny raised, Mike re-raised, and Kenny moved all in. And I don't think that was a bluff from Kenny.
No, it wasn't. It was
he
great.
think he had the best hand because he's not going to get Mike to lay down an overpair to the 7. No, way he does that.
Obviously, but it was a great play. It was just showing how Kenny doesn't just give up hands. He's not tight weak. He's tight solid.
5-way action here. 9-3-9. Jonathan's got an 8-9 over there.
He's going to check it. See where he's at. See if anybody bets this.
Kenny's going to bet.
Kenny's going to take a shot at it.
He's got king 9. He's got a better hand.
Oh, there you go.
He's going to bet 70.
See if Jonathan gets involved here. And if you even get involved with 9-8 here,
9-3-3. You know, I always think, Dave, that someone might sandbag on a flop like this with a 3, especially with Alan and Barry in there, you know.
But he's going to raise it.
Wow, he's going to make the raise. Actually, I should say Alan and Amir, because Barry actually usually will bet out on trips. And again, I think that, you know, these guys are picking on Kenny Wynn, maybe his tight image. And he got bluffed out of one hand. Let's see if he's going to get bluffed out of the second hand in a row here.
Well, it's the same thing here. If you're Kenny, do you want to get involved with this? I mean, this guy was in the small blind. He could have anything.
Well, this is a little bit different.
Kenny have a 3.
Kenny is in position, whereas he was out of position against Gil.
Oh, exactly. This has got to be a read here. I mean, is this guy making a move on me? Kenny's in great shape. He doesn't know that. They both have 2 pair here, 9s and 3s. Obviously, Kenny's kicker is going to play.
I'm very sure you got a 3 this time. I got a 9. I lay that.
And Kenny's going to lay down the 9 here. Jonathan wins it.
Well, Dave, that's actually one of the things that you talk about, because I remember a couple of nights ago you made a move on a guy. We both knew, I was sitting there at the table, that he had an ace. You had a draw, you said, and you were in position against him. And you knew you could get him off of an ace because on an earlier hand, he showed the fact that he laid down an overpair to the flop. So you sometimes you say when you make big laydowns, you don't necessarily want to show the big laydowns, right?
Well, let's think about it.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at a chip count here. We'll get.
Wow,
to
George is the big winner tonight, huh? Look at that. Over almost 34,000 on the table, folks.
Yep. So let's take a look at how these players are doing right now. George is up 7,000 for the night.
Quietly up $7,000. He's having a killer night here. Amir's up 2,900.
You know, the funny thing is he probably could be up 4,000 or 5,000 more if he played that hand with the nut clubs against Barry's second nut differently. I'm not saying he misplayed it. I'm just saying he actually could have probably be up more.
Yeah, you know, that, just to play devil's advocate on that, it's kind of a, you know, who knows. He clearly could have gotten more money out of Barry, but that might have been the best chance to get all of Barry's chips.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Gil raised pre-flop. Oh, excuse me, Mo raised pre-flop, and he's moved all in with this board with deuces. Gil's got ace-queen. He's got overcards and a gut shot, and he doesn't even think of it. I mean, you can see there that, well, I guess Mo's a slight favorite there. Maybe some of the aces or queens are dead, but ace-queen there, you've got 3 overcards to the ace and 3 queens and a gut shot to the jack. 9
You're not going to call an all-in, though.
Right.
I mean, because you can't even think that your overcards are good, right?
You got a surprise. You got to laugh here.
And Mo just says that, Gil, if you see it, you're going to have a surprise. The funny thing is, you know, maybe if Gil is now going to start to playing more no-limit cash games, he goes back and watches this. Mo's actually doing that for, like, long-term statement, that he can make that move.
Of course he is.
Right?
You know, Mo is definitely in this for the long term. You know, he makes all sorts of moves. I actually saw a play last night against Jay, where the pot was about $3,000, and Mo bet $1,500 on the turn when he hit a set of jacks. And I guess he didn't want to kill the game, and he didn't want to, you know, he kind of a little goodwill. He showed Jay the set of jacks.
Really?
So Jay threw it away.
Yeah, Mo actually seen Mo do that a couple times where, like, especially sometimes Mo will come in early. I get it here at 2 o'clock, and we'll just start the 500 game. He'll be a little bit weak at first, and you got like maybe 1 or 2 live players, and one of the live ones is about to go broke. He actually lay back to save the game.
Yeah.
Funny enough. You know?
Well, Mo realizes that as long as these games are going, he can make a consistent living and make a really good living.
Right.
But if he starts breaking players left and right and starts upsetting them, and they start playing elsewhere, well, then he can't make a living. You know what I mean? So he's smart. He's got the long-term picture in his head. Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. You're watching No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 10 and 20.
Ace, Queen, and Ace, Jack here. With these hands, we haven't seen any raising, but now Ali's going to bring it in for 120 with Ace, Queen.
Well, it's 120 in kind of middle position with Ace, Queen. I like the raise.
Gil's got 6 deuce of clubs. He's not going to call. And Amir, he's not going to call either.
Well, let's hand it to Amir here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's calling with some odd hands like King 7 offsuit.
Right.
But he's at least not calling with very easily dominant hands like Ace Jack.
Well, I think he's also playing up the fact that that's Ali's first pre-flop raise of the night as well.
Well, hey, give him credit for paying attention.
Hello. Look at that whole thing going on tonight, Dave.
She knows you're looking at her.
Thanks, Ray.
Barry with big slick here, folks. And he's going to raise it up. And Ali's going to call with Queen 10 offsuit.
Well, there you go. Getting Queen 10 again here. And Kenny's going to call. We don't know what he has. He's got King Jack suited.
See, the suited is what's going to get him in there. If it was offsuit, I'm pretty sure Kenny would have folded that. But suited, he figures, why not? This looks like it might be a big multi-way pot. I'll call.
And Amir's going to call with 3-4 offsuit.
Actually,
Gil with 3-4, and Amir's in there 6-3. So here we go.
Big pot here. About $500 pot.
5-way action here.
Actually, wow, 6-way action because George is in there with Jack 7.
Wow, 9-7-3 here. And did George have the best hand here with Jack 7? And Barry, Barry checked it. And it got checked around. The turn is a queen.
Yeah, we do not have Barry. We do not have George's hand up there, Jack 7.
Yeah, Ali's got the top pair now with the queen. But see, here we go again. I've seen Barry do this. He checks the flop, and then everybody checks. And now he's going to try to bet the turn because he thinks people are weak. He makes this
It's
mistake
obvious that
commonly.
he's weak.
Right. Yeah,
Very
he bets
obvious that he's
220. Ali calls. I like Barry's post-flop aggressiveness. I have no problem with him checking that flop with, 6-way action. Here we go to the river. The river's an 8.
That changes nothing here.
Yeah.
Ali's going to win this hand. I'm sure Ali's not going to bet it. And Ali's going to take down about a $750 pot.
I was going to say, we've seen Barry do that a couple of times. I mean, he plays it pretty aggressively post-flop.
Yeah.
And, he'll check it, though, when he has absolutely nothing. But then if it gets checked to him twice, then he'll bet. And it just doesn't make any sense. Because he doesn't usually slow play his big hands on the flop. He'll bet them right out, too. So when he checks, you kind of know he doesn't have anything.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean,
Yeah.
flop is 9-7 deuce.
Right.
You raised out of the blind, so you're not trying to conceal the strength of your hand.
Right.
But now you're going to check it. Kind of screams ace king or ace queen, doesn't it?
Is that Patty Gallagher?
Who? The brunette?
No, there was another Asian lady over there on the right, but I can't imagine that was her.
Pocket threes for Barry Woods. Big blind.
Buttons moved over here to seat 4.
Good service.
Four-way action here.
Four-way action limped around. $80 pot, folks. Ace-7-4 rainbow. So we can't see George's hand.
Well, he's got
Jack 5.
Jack 5, yeah.
Okay, he's going to throw it away. Bet by Gil. He's going to steal this. Actually, he had second pair. He actually had the best hand.
Well, it looks like we got maybe a little more than a half an hour left in the show here, Dave. Again, we're playing 10-20 No Limit Hold'em. This game usually plays, maybe 2 or 3 times as big as it has tonight. But we don't have.
It's funny. I mean, a 10-20 game here usually, it really actually plays like a 20-40 game.
Right.
Where you really got to buy in for almost $3,000 to be comfortable. This game, though, you could buy in $1,500, $2,000 and have plenty of money.
Well, Mo's going to open it up here. He's going to raise it up to 120 here with Queen 7 of diamonds in early position. He's going to take it down.
Yeah, he's playing the players. He's playing the game. He's trying to adapt his style to this game. And he's only made a couple of mistakes there. He got lucky on one when he had the Queen Jack versus the player in seat 8 with King 3 Oliver early on.
Yeah, that was pretty lucky.
But obviously did not get lucky against George when George flopped the straight.
I'm definitely going to walk out with this shirt.
You do it. All you.
Yeah. Because, the funny thing is that
I'm not going to walk out with you.
people are going to know that this, and they might not even read this. They might think it's the That's Allen shirt because it kind of looks the same as over there. So it's,
There's a big difference, though. See, the That's Allen shirts say That's Allen. Yours says I love Asian girls.
Mo is raised here with ace queen. And Gil's going to call here with ace 4.
Well, he's got a couple of callers in there. He called, and then now Amir calls.
3 aces out here. Here we go.
Wow,
Well,
2 clubs out there. Amir's flopped a
clubs.
flush draw. Gil has a pair, and
And
Mo's a
Amir
bad
takes
pick.
the card. He does not bet. The turn's a king. And now maybe Mo's going to bet here. He's going to bet 200. Yeah, that's surprising there.
Now, the same thing here. Now, Mo raised pre-flop, right? And did not bet it, and now he comes out and bets. But he also, the thing is, he's betting when a king
Yeah, but
comes.
it's a king. You could easily give him credit for ace, king, king, queen, something
Exactly.
like that.
That's the whole point.
Now let's see if Amir. No, Amir's just going to call. I wonder if Amir is going to make a move there. Here we go to the river. The river's a 3.
It's a blank, and if Mo bets another big card,
Well, no, Mo's going to check, and now Amir's going to bet as a bluff.
wow.
He's going to bet 600. He's missed. He needs to bet to win this hand.
Can Mo call?
Well-
And Mo knows this. Mo knows. He goes, this guy's either got nothing.
Well, he's trying to piece it back, and how could you call with a red ace queen? Mo's trying to figure out, is this guy on a busted club draw? The thing that would not make much sense to me, Dave, is would Amir check a club draw on the flop? And in this case, he did.
Yeah.
That's how it went out. He checked the flop.
I mean, what kind of hand would you put him on? I mean, does he have 2 pair? Does he have 5-6? Mo's not going to call. And some people say, oh, come on, he can't call with ace queen. Not to toot my own horn, but you were in a game with me the other night where I called down a guy with ace king, very similar.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think I would have made that call just because, again, I would think that Amir would bet that flop if he was on clubs.
If he was on a club draw, right?
I mean, I saw you throw your hands up in the air when he didn't bet the flop. So.
Yeah, no, it's real surprising that
Yeah,
he didn't.
so-
You probably put him on a piece of it. Actually, it's really surprising when he bets. You kind of go,
Well, then, you look at it and you're like, what did he have here? Did he just flop a monster? Because, like you said, with a weak king or something, he probably would just check right behind Mo.
yeah,
right?
that's the question.
Yeah.
You start thinking of what hands he might have,
Yeah.
and you go, well, did he flop 2 pair? I mean, did he flop a straight?
Bud's going to move over
I mean,
here
did he
to
flop a
C8.
set? I mean, that's the things you start thinking about.
Would Amir play 5-6 in that manner? Check the flop and then just call Mo on the turn?
I mean, a lot of players, if you're playing No Limit Hold'em, folks, a lot of players are content in just checking down the river if they have
With a
kind
me-
of a marginal
Yeah,
hand.
with a marginal hand.
They're not betting it for value. Oftentimes, if they're betting the river, they're either bluffing or they've got a monster.
Which isn't necessarily a bad play to, it's not necessarily a bad move to check down a marginal hand in position on the river either. But I mean, like you said, it's a little bit predictable.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, except you have to realize that if you're playing against a player who's picked up on that, but you're giving away an awful lot.
Well, George is limped in here with ace king. My question to you is, have we seen him in this game ever raise with anything with jacks or below?
Not in this game, we haven't.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing, and I'll get to it after this hand.
5-way action here. Well, wow,
Nice
he picked
flop.
up top pair, the nut club drop, but Barry's flopped the queen high flush.
Uh-oh.
Queen 6 of clubs.
I tell you, now, literally, Barry has had the best hand against George all night.
George is going to bet 130. Let's see if Barry raises right here. He's got the flush, but George has got a better draw, and he's going to raise.
I love the play. I love it.
He's going to make it 500. And let's see how George, remember, he moved all in when he had a made hand. Let's see how he's going to play this now.
Well, he's got a huge hand here.
He is going to make the call. And here we go to the turn. The turn's an 8. Oh, Barry checked the turn. And the river's a 9. And it gets checked down. What?
Hey, thanks for raising.
Barry is he is shy.
Wow, he checked the turn and he checked the river. Huh.
I don't understand.
I'm
I-
bewildered right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just complete shock. I mean, if
Yeah.
Isaac goes to the booth here, he'll just see me and Bart complete bewilderment. I don't understand
just
that at all.
I mean, unless you think that George flopped the nut flush, why would you check the turn? And why would you check the river? unless we didn't hear something on the table where they said, we'll check it down. I mean, that's the type of hand that Barry really could have extracted a ton of money from George on.
You can't check it down there.
Yeah.
The guy's got the ace of clubs. You've got to make him pay for it. That's the whole point of the hand.
I don't get that one. I'm lost on that.
I mean, unless if I had the ace of clubs, I'm going, let's check it down. Great.
Yeah. 9-7 deuce here, a couple spades. Got checked around the flop. You gotta ask Barry about that
I mean,
one
the
after
thing I
the
just
show,
don't understand is, it's not like George is being nice to Barry. I mean,
No.
George tried to get every single penny from Barry before.
Barry's got king deuce here. We don't have it up. His turn two pair. King deuce of clubs, and he shows the deuce.
I mean, if Barry bets $600-700 on the turn there, George is going to call. And if Barry bets another $700 on the river, I think George is going to call that too.
I'm bewildered about that hand. I mean, Barry made a nice laydown before. I don't know what he was thinking with that hand. He flopped the second nuts.
I don't understand.
George has got
was he scared?
George has got a big enough hand there where Barry could overbet the turn. He might even. I'm not saying that you can move all in with those stack sizes, but he could really push a lot.
Can.
George might think he's full of it. You know.
Those kind of hands are move-in hands. I don't care how big your stack is. That hand could have easily gone bet, raise, re-raise, I'm all in.
Yeah, but George just called the flop raise, though.
I understand that, but I understand what happened, but I'm telling you what could have happened.
Well, George raised it up with ace-king, and Gil called with king-7. Check here on the flop.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Was Barry scared?
Turns a deuce.
And Gil's in bad shape here, obviously. Gil needs a 7 and only a 7 to win this hand. And there's an ace in the river. Overkill. George is going to take this down. They're going to check it down. George doesn't bet the river there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they agreed to check it down or Barry was just scared. I mean, if he's scared on that kind of flop, he's got to lift up his skirt.
I can't imagine that they would agree to check it down there.
I'm still in amazement about that.
Yeah.
Now, I want to get back to George not raising with ace-king. Now, there are certain tables where I might not necessarily raise with ace-king, and one of those tables is, let's say I'm playing with Mike and Jay and all those guys, because they're going to be doing the raising for me, okay? And I might want to conceal the strength of my hand a little bit in that hand. But a game like this that's so passive, I don't mind raising with ace-king and taking control of the pot.
Yeah. Ace-jack offsuit here for Allen. For seat 9, and he's going to bring it in. That's Jonathan. He's going to make it 90. Gil's got walking sticks, as we call it. Pocket 7, he's going to make the call. So we're heads up, ace-jack against 7s. And the ace-jack hits top pair here, jack 10-9. Gil's got the ass end of a gut shot here.
150.
Jonathan's going to bet 150 here, and Gil is not going to get involved. Looks like we already have an email here, Dave, from someone that's listened to our circuit interview. Jay Siegel, and Jay also is kind of mirroring you, Dave. And Jay, actually, if you want, I don't know if you want me to read this or you to read this.
Go ahead.
This email here from Jay Siegel, and he was watching what you did.
He was sweating me
the entire time.
He was sitting behind
me.
And he says, anybody that knows, Jay Siegel was in the game last night in seat 7.
Right. And this is what. Here are my mental notes of how Dave was doing the amateur act at the WPT Invitation. I'll get to this after this hand because Jay was watching every hand that you played there.
Yeah, it was kind of entertaining, I guess. And it's a raise here from seat 9, and he's going to take it down. Pre-flop. Go ahead.
Number 1, after Daniel Negreanu makes a big re-raise, Dave exclaims, "They don't do that in my home game." Number 2, upon the first break, Dave asked Daniel and Tony G, "Do we take the chips with us or leave them here?" Number 3, after Tony G bets 600, Dave tosses in a $5,000 chip, and clearly after the chip is in the pot, he says, "Raise." Tony G then tries to school Dave on raising procedure. 4, Dave asks Carlos Mortensen what his last name is, and then shows no recognition that Carlos is anyone special while he scribbles his name on a piece of paper. There you go.
My favorite one was at the end of the first level. I said, I'm sitting there going, is somebody going to watch these chips or do we take them with us? That was my favorite.
Mo raised it up here with ace-10 of spades, and Allen called with ace-deuce.
Appreciate the support, Jay. Thanks. I would have liked to win. I would have thrown you a lucky chip.
Mo made a continuation bet.
Takes it down. I still can't get over that hand.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
if people are watching this now, I mean, it's unbelievable. The flop comes out king high with 3 clubs.
Very important.
Barry flops the second nut flush, while George has top pair with the ace of clubs. I mean, that's insane.
Dave, I got another one here that Jay just sent us. I'll send here in a second. Kind of funny. You couldn't even be good enough to play on your own marriage. You had to act like you're an amateur.
I could have been. It's just strategy to play a different way. It was working for the first 2 levels.
Yeah.
Actually, it worked for the first 3 hours.
This is another good one. We'll get to this after this hand. 4-way action here.
Please do it. Please tell him I told him.
Queen 4-8 limped around. Mo's got top pair. Seat number 8 also has top pair.
Yeah,
Kenny wins.
Kenny win, though. I don't think he'll get involved with Queen 8 here. I mean, Queen 7.
He's in the big blind. Mo's going to bet 100 here. Queen Jack. Again, Kenny Wynn's got Queen 7 of clubs.
Now, if this was a small bet, we've actually seen Alan take one off here. I mean, the flop is Queen 8-4, folks. And we've seen Alan take one off, right? I mean, no pair, no draw, no nothing. And he'll take one off sometimes. Is Kenny going to raise? Wow, it looks like he's going to raise.
Let's see.
Wow,
Yeah.
if you're Mo, do you just get thrown this away against Kenny Wynn?
He's going to make it 180 more. Well, the answer is no. Mo quickly calls.
Mo likes to give action. I'm going to tell you something about Mo's play here in a little while. It's really interesting. Oh, wow, look
Turns
at
to
that.
7. It's a third spade now. And Mo's got a
Now
jack
Kenny's got
spades
2
in his
pair.
hand, Yep.
You want to work fast and got greener. Think about that.
Imagine if he checks it, Mo will check as well.
No, Mo's going to bet.
See how much I know Mo. I've watched Mo for 100 hours, and I still have no idea how he's going to play.
Mo's going to bet 700. Well, remember, you think he's trying to bully around a guy that might not, might lay down a high ace like an ace queen or a king queen representing spades here.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
Kenny's made 2 pair on the turn. It's a $700 bet.
well, it's tough, though. I mean, he knows Mo would bet the flush draw. He knows that.
The pot, Dave, is about $1,100. $700. This is one of the more interesting hands here tonight.
Now, Mo does have outs, obviously. Mo can catch any spade or a jack, and you can see the odds there, 70-30.
Yep. 9 spade outs, and he's got, 12 outs total, 3 more
Yeah, I mean,
jack outs.
this is definitely a semi-bluff. It's not necessarily just an out-and-out bluff.
Mo can't think his hand is the best hand right now.
No, I don't think he does.
Yeah.
Especially since Kenny's thinking about it still.
The funny thing was that Mo's hand was the best hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kenny was kind of making a little move there. But now the problem with Kenny's hand, he's looking at it going, well, if the guy had spades, he has me beat. But if he has ace-queen, well, now I just got lucky on him.
Well, the other thing you got to take into, would Mo bet ace-queen here if he didn't have a spade? Don't you have to bet here?
You might.
Would you bet and then check the river, something like that?
Well, this is the question for you now.
Yeah.
If you put Mo on ace-queen with the ace of spades,
Right.
is there any fold equity here? Does Kenny have enough to get Mo off the hand? I mean, right now, if Kenny were to move all in, can Mo throw away queen jack with jack spades?
Well, again, I'm looking around the other way. I'm thinking to Kenny. Can Kenny lay this down? Because if Mo had king queen or ace queen and it was a red kicker, wouldn't Mo bet the turn here? Can you let another free card escape here if you don't have a spade in your hand? It's something to throw out there. Mo likes to keep, one pair hand small, so you never know.
Yeah.
So, Kenny might think that Mo's just trying to bully him off the hand.
Well, that's exactly what Mo's trying to do.
And Mo has to know that he's beat right now.
Now, one thing about Mo, I'll tell you really quick. Kenny's going to lay this down, I think. Oh, he's still thinking about it.
Yeah, there's a great
There's Mo. Look at that stone face.
Let me handle it on that. Got it.
Made it really interesting for Kenny. Turns 2 pair, he checks, and now his opponent bets.
Okay, let's gamble. I go all in.
Oh, he's going to move all in here.
And this is the question I had now.
Yeah.
How much more is it? That's what we got to find out.
Well, the pot was $1,100 beforehand, so let's see how much more it is.
It looks like another $1,200.
1,080 more.
1,080 more, so that's 1,800, 2,800, about 2,900, and it's going to be another 1,100 for Mo to call.
Wow, so he's getting a little under 3-1. He's getting about 2.5-1 on his money.
Now, if he knew what Kenny had here, he could make this call because we can see the odds right
Yeah,
there.
he's getting 2.5-1 on his money, so
Yeah.
he can call, but it's not like a clear-cut call.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's
It's a $2,800 pot. Again, it's about 1,100 to call here.
the problem is you don't know what Kenny has here.
Well, here's an
Kenny's
issue.
playing it like he's a set almost.
What if Kenny has a queen with a higher spade? How about that?
Oh, well, then Mo's almost drawing dead.
And
He
you
only
got to
has
put
3X.
that in his range of hands, don't you? I
Kenny
mean, maybe
could've-
he wouldn't have thought that long with it, but you never know.
Kenny could have a small straight, a small flush already.
Yeah.
Kenny could have a set of eights right now. You have
I mean,
no
he
idea.
didn't think about it for a long time, though.
Hey, that's part of it, though.
And again, Mo might try to just make this call, even if it's not correct, just to give him like a gambling image somewhat.
Well, I was going to say, that's what Mo likes to call.
No, he's going to fold.
He's going to throw it away.
Yeah.
But Mo likes to call. Most players against Kenny who win would just throw it away in the flop.
Right, right.
Mo likes to give a little action, kind of throw out that gambling image. For two reasons. Number one, he gets played with more often. Number two, he doesn't want anybody to start taking shots at him. Kenny lays down hands.
Right.
He doesn't want people to think that he wants everybody to think, I call you down no matter what. Don't bluff me, because I'll call you.
So here's another email here from Jay. It says, one other good one was, in the middle of the first level, Dave asked the table if he can leave the table, or does he have to stay seated until the break? Daniel and Tony G both let him know he can leave the table at any time. Dave proceeds to stand up and instructs the dealer to deal him out. The table then tells Dave that they'll still take his blinds, and he cannot be dealt out. Dave appears surprised and said, "Oh, I don't want that to happen," and then sits back down.
Hey, I'm a big Mike Caro fan. You know, you got to work what you got. Work what you got.
Yeah, work what you got. Ace 9-3 here. Rainbow.
And gets checked around there, 7 on the turn. And 10-3 is still the best hand here, folks, in seat 9, Jonathan. And now he's tripped 3s.
Yep.
He'll probably throw a little... No, he checks it. Wow.
Let's see it.
Why do you check that? Why would you not bet that? I'm not sure you're going to get paid off anyway, but why not check it? I mean, why bet it? Trip 3s? I mean, it's obviously the nuts.
Ollie went back in.
Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here at Bart Hansen. We stream live cash games every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Pacific time. Got about 20 minutes left in tonight's show.
Buttons over there, and Kenny wins in. I really like the way that Kenny plays. I mean, he doesn't mix it up. He's solid. But for some reason, I think he reads the situation correctly.
He does.
He's done it. You know, he's not going to be putting as much money in pots, I guess, you know, as you or I or Mo or any, you know, some of these other players would. But
Well, the thing with Kenny is what's really great about his game, what I love about it. You know what, I'll tell you this in 1 second,
You
actually.
beat me there, but Weaver, I got you.
Queen 10-3 here.
Really?
If I call you, I got you.
Okay, I got 2 pair. I cannot call because if I call, you will move me all in the river.
Bear's going to bet with top pair here.
I mean, like,
Weaver, I got you.
And they're talking about that there. I guess Mo rabbit hunted the spade would have come on the river.
Actually, Jack would have hit the river.
Oh, a jack.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the
Yeah,
undercam?
Jack hit the river.
you have a queen too, Mo?
Now, the one thing with Kenny, I'll tell you really quick.
Yeah.
What I like about him is he's not oblivious to the way he is seen by the rest of the table.
Right.
Now, he shows the ace, you know, he shows the hands he's laying down,
Right.
and he knows the way the table sees him, and he plays accordingly. He knows that the mowers might bully him, so he can play back at him once in a while.
Wow, Mo's buying 7,000 behind here.
Well, I think he wants to cover George, maybe cover Barry.
I wonder if I can ask Donna out on the floor. Is there a second 10-20 game going?
No, there is.
Yeah, straddle.
Because there was a huge board for this game.
Yeah, straddle. 3 players.
Limped around here. It's a straddle pot here. Jack 3-4 here.
You, George.
Turns an ace. George picked up top here. Guess this is the only 1,000 game going then, Dave.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
130.
Got about 5 or 6 people on the board for it.
George is going to bet 130 here with ace 10, and he's going to take it in. Wow. Last hand of the Invitational. Barry Greenstein raises to 90,000 from the button. Larry Rodman moves all in instantly, and Greenstein calls. Ace 10 for Rodman. Greenstein, ace king. He's just the master, isn't he, man?
Oh, it's easy when you're kicking a base king.
Right.
Heads up, right? Hey. But no, Barry Greenstein, I have the
Yeah.
utmost respect for his
Like I
game.
said, it was really interesting to watch him play because he didn't play that many hands. You know, you telling me that you were at a table. When do you ever get a chance to sit next to Barry Greenstein in one of these
Oh,
tournaments?
it's
And I was say you were sitting next to a table where those guys were all out of line. That's their style. But that's not Greenstein's style. He's not blindly reckless.
No, he's not blind. It's
Yeah.
funny. When I played Limit Hold'em with him at the World Series. I played
Yeah.
in the $3,000 Limit Hold'em
Yeah.
tournament during the World Series. He was to my left.
Yeah.
And he was playing probably, I want to say 7 out of 8 hands.
Really?
There, yeah, he
Yeah.
was really mixing it up that game.
King 4-3 here, limped around.
But, Barry's good enough to change gears.
Yeah.
And obviously you saw him changing gears.
Turns a 9. Well, the funniest thing was that our table was filled with all amateurs. And basically myself and Linda Johnson.
Well, I mean, I guess Barry
You know?
figured he couldn't bully the table. You can't bluff an amateur sometimes.
Well,
That's what I was thinking.
the other way you look at it is, though, that everyone was playing so tight, he might have been able to, but maybe he just wasn't picking up anything.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
might have been it.
in
Hey,
terms of
patience and discipline is part of it. It's a part of my game in tournaments, especially that I need to work on.
I told you one hand that Barry, he had a comfortable chip stack at about 40,000, and Karina Jet was really short chipped, and she basically moved all in for about 5,000. Barry had about 30,000 at this point. Five answers were 600, 1,200 with $300 antes. And Barry, to her immediate left, re-raised it up to 6,000.
Right.
They turned over the cards. He had King 7 suited. He was trying to isolate her. There was enough dead money where you could pretty much do that with maybe any 2 live cards when you think about it.
Well, I think that was obviously his thinking there.
Yeah.
He's figuring I'm getting more than 2 to 1.
Yeah.
There's a good chance she's in there with Ace Rag.
Right.
Okay, hey, I'll take the chances. Maybe I can win a big pot.
Jonathan raised here with pocket 8. Samir's in there with Ace 7, and Barry's in there with 3-5.
Wow, look at that flop.
Well,
for
Jonathan's
Jonathan.
got full house. Let's see if he's not going to bet.
Well, I mean, this is one of those rare cases where I'm not totally opposed to checking that once. But once again, you've got to build the pot up a little bit, make somebody want to go for it.
Well,
Barry's going to bet it now.
Barry's open-ended.
Yeah, well, now Barry's picked something up.
Yeah.
Maybe now you make a raise to 300.
Put some more money in there.
You put a little more money in there. Barry might still call you with the draw.
Well, I'll tell you the other reason why. It's funny. It's consistency. We've seen Jonathan check hands that he didn't make on the flop. If you were to bet every time you raise pre-flop, I would say bet the full 8.
Oh,
but he hasn't bet every time he's hit it.
If Jonathan is Corporation Mike,
Yeah.
and he raises it up here, it's almost like he heard me.
And now he's going to raise. He's going to raise.
But now Barry might call with the draw.
Yeah, he raised it. He mini raised it here, Dave.
And if Barry's drawing dead, if Barry catches
Yeah.
a 6 or an ace, he might go broke. Well, not broke, but he might double Jonathan.
So
up.
Jonathan checked the flop and he mini raised the turn. Here we go to the river. Oh, the river's a king. No good.
Nope, nothing there. Obviously,
Yeah.
Barry's got 5 high. He checks. He gives up with a pot.
Yeah.
Jonathan's going to take this down. Jonathan's going to put a bet out there. Obviously, Barry cannot call.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is now if you're Corporation Mike there and you flop top full house, yeah, go ahead and bet it.
Yeah. Could you also check? I'm not a huge proponent of checking flops and stuff. Say this flop comes out 8 deuce deuce with a couple diamonds. I'm also thinking about mixing my game up because everyone knows where I play. And I've got aces with the ace of diamonds. That's a flop that I might be able to check once as well, right?
Aces with the 8 of diamonds?
Ace of diamonds. Aces with the ace of diamonds. The flop comes 8 deuce deuce. 2 diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a monster there. You don't mind if somebody has king queen on you. You don't mind if they
Right.
catch their king because
Right.
they've got to catch runner king king or runner queen
Right.
queen to beat you.
But again, there's
Just 2 pairs no good.
rare circumstances, right? You got to read the texture of the board.
I mean, I'll
obviously.
tell you straight out, 80% of the time I'm going to play a hand pretty fast.
Right.
You've got to be slow play once in a while. Otherwise, people can start putting you on hands.
Limped around here.
4-6 for Barry. He's got a gut shot and backdoor straight draw. Backdoor flush draw, sorry.
Barry's going to bet 50 here.
Amir's got nothing. And he's going to call with nothing. Amir's setting up a play, maybe?
Yeah, probably setting up a play here. Turns a queen.
Well, Amir's still a favorite to win this hand. George is out of the hand. And you see this, Amir is a 60% favorite, but that doesn't really mean much, obviously, because if Barry bets this, he might take it down right now.
Well, it's down to 80-20 now for Barry.
Barry's got position, and position is the trump card. Barry's going to check. Once again, Barry fires 1 bullet, but not 2 bullets.
Took a card. River's an 8. Amir checks, and now Barry has to bet, doesn't he? Oh, excuse me. I thought Amir checked. He's going to bet. Well, Amir thinks he needs to bet.
Exactly.
Well, actually, the funny thing about that is I thought, I don't necessarily mind the call if you're Amir. If you have position on Barry, he was out of position.
Yeah.
How do you call the flop out of position with King 10 there?
I don't understand it. But you know what? Once again,
It's obviously different if he's on the button and he thinks he might be able to outplay Barry.
yeah, maybe he knows Barry's only going to fire 1 bullet. You know? Maybe he thinks maybe king high is good.
I got to ask Barry about that hand with the flop flush.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, phenomenal hand. I mean, he really should have $1,500 more of George's money, shouldn't he? At
Maybe
least.
even more than that.
Raised to 70.
Now, Gil, we haven't heard much from him.
Double fist night tonight or no?
We got a raise here by Gil with ace queen suited. Gonna raise it up to 70. George is called with pocket nines. Barry's gonna call with ace 3 suited.
I appreciate Russ McGinley pulling that picture out of his bag. Thanks.
Well, George has got the overpair. Is he gonna throw it a bet? He does.
He does, yeah.
He's gonna bet 200.
It's not a
7,
great,
4, 6.
kind of a little scary flop, isn't it, though? But I don't think anybody's got it. I mean, Gil's got overcards with a backdoor flush draw.
Yeah.
He's going to get rid of it. And George hasn't really shown any strength.
Well, the other thing, though, too, about George is you wonder, and I like George's game, and I like people that play their hands fast all the time. But does George sometimes not mix it up in any way towards the other way, where you know when he bets he's got something big, you don't get mad?
I've actually seen George bluff.
Have you?
Yeah, I mean, George bluffs. George definitely bluffs. He doesn't do it often, but he does it enough to keep you in line.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit for that. I mean, if there's any criticism I have of George's game tonight, I'll get into it in a second after this chip count. George is down to $10,000 now, over $40,000 on the table, and we got the makings of a pretty big game now.
Well, there's the differences.
Wow, George still up 5,000.
Yeah,
Barry the big loser down 3,000.
And George should be down more than that because he should
Barry
have lost
could have been
money.
even.
Yeah,
right
he
now.
should. That could easily be George 2,000, Barry even right now.
Yeah, definitely. You're 100% right.
Four-way action here. And there might be more to that story, Dave. We don't know.
I'm sure there is. 8-5 deuce here. Kenny Wynn's got the top pair here with a 3 kicker, 8-3. But George is going to bet.
Well, he's got second pair. He's going to bet
Second pair,
70.
backdoor flush draw. I don't think Kenny's going to get involved here.
Especially against George. I mean, what do you really...
8-3
Yeah.
is not a hand you're looking for anything with.
Now, Amir is not going to call, but again, if Allen had that same hand, you might see him take one off.
Yeah, I got to say, I mean, I've actually liked George's game tonight. I'm a fan of his game. I got to say, though, tonight, the only thing that I think that he's failed to adapt to is the table. And I think he could probably raise some of those big hands like ace queen, ace king.
Right.
Some tables you don't raise with those kind of hands, but this kind of table you definitely can.
What are they calling you in the back? Voodoo G. Oh, that's right.
So I don't know if did you answer that, or is it double fist night tonight?
Oh, I might have like 1 or 2 beers. You know, when I play that 5-10 game, I'm not stupid.
Right.
If I was going to play 3 to 5, maybe, but
Start drinking. Start your engines, folks.
Again, I don't, double fist night came out of the fact that I used to play limit hold'em and stud high low after the
Right.
show, Dave. That's a lot different with no limit, don't you think?
Yeah, no,
yeah. Jack 10-9 here.
Well, Amir's got top pair with a gut shot straight draw, and he checks it.
Everybody checked it. Turns a deuce, and now Barry's got the nut flush draw.
Yeah.
And Amir's going to come out and bet here.
And I think it's a perfect just call there by Barry.
Unless you think that Amir's weak and you can raise him off a hand.
He definitely could.
Oh, the river's a queen, and Amir makes a straight.
There's just too much out there to raise him, I think, with a Jack 9-10 flop out there.
600.
There's more likely that maybe Amir was slow playing a monster, like Amir started with King Queen or something, and maybe he's going to let me get there and pay me off.
Barry bets 600 here.
Yeah, Amir bet 600.
Excuse me, Amir.
Yeah.
Yeah, against no, this is funny. I was going to say, against a player that might lay that hand, a hand like, say, a king down here on the river, you maybe make a move, but not against Amir.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is...
I mean, Amir has shown time and time again, he would, like, if Barry were to move all in there, Amir would call for a chop.
Yeah. The problem with raising that flop on the turn, raising his bet on the turn is, look at it. The flop was 9-10 jack, right?
Right.
Give it to Mike. That's what you want to
And Barry's on the button, and he did not bet. Okay, now the deuce of hearts comes out. What are you trying to represent? What, pocket deuces?
Right.
I mean, come on. I just don't buy it. But now you're going to raise me because you picked up your heart draw? It's pretty obvious.
120.
I'd almost rather hope that Amir has a big, big hand, let me get there, and then maybe pay me off to the tune of a couple $1,000. Pretty exciting news here. We've got our Winning of the Green, our 17th annual Winning of the Green poker tournament coming here at the Price Casino. It's from March 1st to the 27th. And we're talking about over $1 million in cash and prizes, folks. A lot of money here. So come on down to the bike.
Raised here by Gil with ace-10, and George made the call with ace-king.
Check.
Excuse, well,
Yeah, we got
actually, I think Barry raised, Gil called, and George called, and now Gil checks and George bets, and Gil is going to make a little
Call.
check, a call, turns to king, and now George's got top 2.
Yeah, and Gil is drawing. I want to say dead. Yeah, he is. And but it doesn't stop Gil from putting money in the pot though.
Gil's all in here. He check called all in, and
Wow.
Gil is drawing dead.
Yeah,
It's
he's-
over.
Bad shape there.
Yep.
And George is going to win another pot. It is the night of the Greek poker god.
Yeah.
Hey, send me to that voodoo doctor. How do I go there?
Rivers an 8 here.
You know, and Gil's got to be happy with the 8 on the river, hoping that maybe he chops
Right,
it up there. But obviously George is 2 pair. Kind of cool. Now, if you want to pre-register for any of these tournaments so you don't miss any of the action, you can go to thebike.com and pre-register for these tournaments. Really cool. We've got a $100,000 guaranteed tournament, $150,000 guaranteed tournament. Just go to thebike.com and check out the tournaments. Winning of the Green, coming March 1st, folks.
What do you mean? I put the voodoo curse on you.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, he put the voodoo curse.
you wonder, this voodoo doctor, George is on fire tonight.
Right.
Hey, Hob.
I mean, on the hands, he's already sucked out on Barry twice.
Right.
Once he had ace queen against, I want to say ace queen against queens, and then he had ace,
I told him, man. At least the
ace, what was it?
Does your wife to come to the home?
Ace of clubs versus pocket kings, and hit that hand too. Ace queen against kings.
And then he got kind of soft played by Barry on a hand that he could have lost a lot of money with.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean,
It's crazy.
I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna have that number right away.
Yeah.
A lot of money in front of George. Hey, talking about Barry Greenstein, I actually bumped into Joe Seabach again. He's a real nice guy, Joe Seabach.
Yeah, he actually was in the booth over the summer when Barry came in here, right?
Yeah, he
I
came
didn't
in
think he
for
was on the show, but he was just watching, right, in the
Yeah, I'm
background.
trying to get him down here. I like his style. Nice guy, up and coming poker player.
Looks like we got pocket queens here for Gil. Let's see how much he's going to rebuy for. C3.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much he's behind.
Hey,
2,300?
2,300. And Gil just limped in with queens. And again, I would not be limping in with big hands on this table, Dave.
No, you just can't count for.
And he's not going to get a raise.
If Mike is in the game, I'll
Right.
limp in with queens because I know he's going to re-raise.
Wow, look at that flop. Well, at least I guess he can get away from it. He actually has the best hand here. But how on earth could he ever know that?
He has no idea now. By not raising,
Yeah. And Amir's going to bet with bottom pair.
Why not? And Mo calls.
Wow, and Gil overcalls. That's amazing. The turn's a jack. It's a third diamond.
Yeah, but look at that. Mo's made it straight.
And Mo checked it. Mo checked it. It was, and the river's a 7, and now Mo's going to bet.
Mo's made the straight there. He had a gut shot, and he makes it.
And he's going to come out and bet 200 here on the river. It was a dangerous card in the turn that Gil had the second nut diamond there on the turn.
Yeah, you've got to adjust your style of play to the table you're playing at. This is not a table where you can limp in with big pairs and expect to raise out back. You
Right.
just can't. It's not going to happen.
Right. This is going to be the last hand of the night, Dave. Another week down in the annals of Live at the Bike. Believe me, I'm going to remember this one. This one's for the archives. Maybe not for the game, but for other reasons.
Yeah, he's been gone over an hour.
But moves over here to Alan. Now George has got ace-king offsuit here. Let's see if he's going to raise, Dave.
At least 45 minutes.
Again, like you said.
And George raises, folks.
Well, this is the second time. He did it before earlier, too.
I'm just trying to get excited, okay? It's the last hand. George raises. And he's going to take it down, folks.
Are we going to do one more, or is that going to be it? All right, we'll do one more. Why not?
Oh, I wasted all. I thought that was the last hand. I wasted all that excitement for that.
George is wearing an Earth, Wind, and Fire shirt.
You like Earth, Wind & Fire?
I'm a huge classic rock guy, man.
You're not? What do you like? What kind of music do you like?
Modern rock, alternative.
Modern rock? Like,
Yeah.
like what?
Like whatever is new in the last like 15 years, yeah. You know.
Somewhat gay music then.
I just don't like that. You know, like, do you like Kansas, Dave, and stuff like
I
that?
like Kansas,
Oh,
yes.
God.
Kansas? Of course I like Kansas. Journey? AC/DC?
No, I actually, you know, there are some groups like that. I like AC/DC. I like Pink Floyd. I was never a huge Zeppelin fan, I gotta be honest with you.
5 players.
5-way action here.
10-7-7, folks.
Pocket 8s over there for Kenny. But look at this, Gil's flop trip 7s. See how he's gonna play it.
That's a pretty easy flop for Kenny to grade from because you can't beat a 7, you can't beat a 10. all you can beat is a club draw. And George has got a club draw. And look at this.
The turn is a queen, and now George has got top pair with the club draw.
Yeah, Gil slow played his trip sevens.
Gil checked it again on the turn. George bet 100. Barry called. He's open-ended. And Gil is going to check raise the minimum here. He's not going to drive anybody out, Dave. I don't understand that play at all. And he's going to need to dodge a lot of cards. A club, an ace, or a nine.
No, look, Barry gets there.
An ace, and Barry gets there. I don't know what Gil was thinking there.
And now he's going to bet a value bet.
He's going to bet 350. Now, if you're Barry, can you raise here?
Well, the question is, if you put the guy in a 7, he might have 7-6, he might have 7-8, he also might have 8-7. And you got to be careful of that. If you raise him here, can you get called? Now, the thing is, though, is you wonder, can Barry get, can Gil pay him off with 6-7 if you raise?
Why did Gil check raise to $100 on the turn? What is the point of that?
I have no idea. And I think Barry's going to raise this up, though. He is.
He is going to raise.
Wow, big hefty raise.
I think this is an easy laydown now for Gil.
Well, you can't beat any 7, really. You can't beat 7-8. You can't beat 7-8.
He's raised it up here to 1,400.
The straight is always less apparent. It's really hard to put somebody on King Jack, specifically King Jack here. And Gil does not pay him off. At least give Gil credit there. He slow played it.
I don't understand why would you check raise to 100 now?
I have no idea. I swear it's like
all right.
Twilight Zone.
That's going to do it for us tonight. So another week down, live at the bike. So for everyone here in the booth and for Dave Tuckman, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.